There's actually people in here that actually know who I am. That's great. Hey, little mama. Let's try this again. See if, the heck? What the hell? There we go. Trying to see if I can get my YouTube notifications to go out because they did not the first time. So I guess we'll try that and see what happens. So, hello, people. I'm just trying to get both. It's hard to get going at the same time because one always acts up, and then the other one. Hello. It's frustrating because I have this set up. Look at that. Do you see how glitchy it is? I am set up on an Ethernet. There is zero reason for it to be on a delay. You got the notification? Okay, cool. Does it look like it's on a delay to you? Maybe I need to restart my computer. Not now. Because I'm literally tethered in to a Ethernet. And I don't understand why I look glitchy. It looks like I'm on a delay. Or like I'm moving at like half speed. I feel like I probably need to restart the computer at some point. All right, so I put TikTok on to help shuffle people over to YouTube. It's a little glitchy. That's what I thought. Like I'm literally in. Check my updates and settings. Yeah, I probably need to do that. That is so frustrating. As a person who likes to read lips, this is throwing me off. What am I talking about tonight? Let's see, Dino. First, are you a shit stir? Let's see. Okay, no, you're not necessarily a shit stir. Okay. What am I talking about tonight? I mean, there's a lot of things I could talk about. You know, I wanted to come on here earlier. I'm gonna. Okay. You're good. Look, I gotta be careful. No, here's the deal. So earlier today, I get sent a live, and I just want to say that the people that participated in this live, I don't know who was in there. I didn't go into the room. I just got sent a screenshot from it. And I'm sorry, but if you are having game shows to downgrade people, number one, get your own content. Number two, do you people even realize that those are real people that you're talking about? Like, oh my lord. Your desktop did updates to the Windows version last night. Maybe mine jacked up. I don't know. Hey. I mean, performance issue alert. This tab is using extra resources. No kidding. To improve your performance, let Chrome make it inactive. No, I'm using it. I'm using it. What do you mean? Like, what are you even doing? Yeah, cut off the one that I'm trying to use. So, okay. So somebody sent me a screen grab of apparently Into the Weeds was having a Jeopardy style live with Toddy, Millennial, and I want to say her name is Trixie. I could be wrong. And they were playing Jeopardy to fancy themed boxes. And there was about 200 people from the screen grab that were watching and participating in this. And I think what gets lost along the way with a lot of people is that is a person you are talking about, dude. Like, that is a person that you are literally sitting there dissecting and making fun of them. Like, for those people who have never had that happen, I've had it happen, where people dissect everything you do and or pull out, different things about you. Like, that is not okay as a person to come across something like that. Number one, the amount of time that these people sat there and made each of these individual categories and individual questions Like, you could have put that same effort into content that was quality and not mocking and horrible and mean, and but that wouldn't have got the clicks and views, I guess. Because, only drama really gets clicks and views. And I can't understand having the time on my hands or the want to literally make a game show dragging somebody on the internet and then 200 people showing up and thinking that that's an acceptable way to behave. I mean, the amount of high school bullshit that is wild to me. I don't understand it. Oh, it's not as glitchy now. Um, I didn't go in and look or whatever. Yes, it is. The whole app is turned into grown men and women as acting like high school bullies. The sad part is this was actually on YouTube. This was actually on YouTube. And I can't comprehend being that hateful. Did they get it removed as far as I'm aware? No. But I just can't imagine being that hateful to sit and waste your time doing that and then actually go through with it. Like that's wild to me. Hey Marie, how are you? Um, and it's all the same people. But what's weird to me is Into the Weeds was all up Fancy's ass when all this shit happened. Hey, Into the Weeds was all up Fancy's ass when this happened, saying how they were on her side and Sarah was this awful person and all this, and they saw the same thing Fancy did. And now there they are with everybody else doing the same thing. Like, what changed? Because that's not the story that was being sung. I mean, I called that shit out even when I wasn't talking to Fancy. I saw the discrepancies in what was going on even when I wasn't talking to Fancy. I put a video out even while I was not speaking to her, showing that this girl had flippy floppied. And seeing it now, like today in real time, I mean, this girl hosted a whole however long live, like an hour long live or something, as a game show, dragging her. That is wild to me. Oh, Crystal, don't even get me started on that. Don't even get me started on that. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. There's so much shit going on in the world that I don't understand why people are being so goddamn hateful towards each other on these apps. It's very, she hasn't flipped where? It I don't understand it. There's so much content that could be made about anything in the world, and people are picking to go after, harass, make fun of creators, whatever the creator is, and that you could spend so much time doing content that is not making a mockery of somebody else. They're all fake as hell. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I just don't understand it. And then the other shitty thing is then God forbid you defend yourself against any of this stuff, and you're the bad guy. I hope all the lurkers have their notebooks all set up to jot down the 57 timestamps and taking minutes. Luckily, there's not a lot of people in here, so I think we should be okay. There's not a lot of people in here. We'll be all right. Only get worried if it gets over 50. Then we need to worry. If it just suddenly jumps up by 30, then we need to worry. We need to start telling them to take their time notes. But there's not a lot of people in here, so we're good. I was going to go on about it earlier, and I have not felt very good all day. I've been really nauseous. My stomach hurts. And I went to go live about 10 o'clock, and then I got sidetracked, and then I went to go live at 11, and then my stomach started hurting. So I've been squirreling everywhere, unfortunately, and I wanted to go live a lot earlier, but I know they've prevented you from defending yourself about the Sarah stuff. And what's frustrating is when we put out the screenshots, I mean, and you could tell like where one started and the next one began, that there was nothing missing. That should have been enough for people. Like that should have been enough to see the forest for the trees. But the thing is, people are so zeroed in on hating Fancy that anything that her name is tied to, people lose their noodles about. There's 18 people, but I'm sure at least 10 of them are lurkers. Well, can't you bring your friends and give me some more ad revenue? Yeah, I mean, they could be. Not a lot of people ever type on YouTube, which is always very strange to me. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I feel just kind of I felt kind of all day. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I had to get up every couple hours and check this message and check that message and make this phone call and make that phone call. So I didn't get a whole lot of sleep, and then I was cold and I got nauseous, and now my stomach hurts because, yeah, it just hurts. So she's labeling you as a dirty deleter. Of course she did. Okay, here's the thing. You can dirty delete your whole conversation. It's still not going to make her conversation go any better. And I think that's the problem, is her side of the conversation is the bad part. So if you deleted every single thing you said, just reading her standalone texts are enough. They're my pets. They're my pets. Let's see. I did, but then I gained 2 back. Maybe they brought their friends. No, Crystal, that doesn't make you a lurker. Mary, you're only talking in half sentences, so I don't know what you're trying to say. Yes, so I am aware that Fancy creates drama wherever she goes. People lump me in with her like I am this weird two-headed monster of hers. And I've said this even when I was working with her in the very beginning. In the very beginning, I would tell people, we are not a two-headed monster. We think differently. There are things that she does and says that I don't agree with. There's things that I say and do that she doesn't agree with. You know, I'm not one of those people. Yes, I'm your friend and I'll be there unconditionally. It doesn't mean I have to agree with everything you say and do. And yeah, she, her biggest problem, which I've talked to her. So if anybody's like, oh my God, Ryan was talking shit about Fancy. No, I've talked to her about it. Is her delivery fucking sucks. We know this. Her delivery sucks. That is one of her key components, is she loses her noodle all the time. I get that. But what you also have to realize is when you have any amount of followers that are, in the couple of thousands, even, thank you. If you even have a couple thousand followers, you're going to get a couple people that really, 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 you rub them the wrong way. And the problem is, I mean, if you guys were, and I've been there, and that's why I can talk about this. If you guys were ever in the position of getting online and seeing people make video after video and live after live about you, your life, the things you've done, the things you've said, making a mockery, stealing your content every single day when you come online, you would probably be a little volatile as well. Instead of just being like, you know what, I don't like this creator, and scrolling. I don't see why that's hard. I mean, if you don't like somebody's content, don't watch it. There is a ton of creators in the true crime section that I will not watch because they rub me the wrong way. So I'm just not going to invest my time into them. But what I'm not going to do is sit here and have live after live and video after video about the fact that I don't like them. You found a Facebook group this morning talking about the Sarah situation and it upset you? I'm sorry. I weirdly smell maple syrup and it is really driving me crazy and I don't know why. I don't know why I smell it, but it's really getting on my nerves. That's a really triggering smell to me for some reason. Don't ask. I'm not going into the story, but that smell like triggers me. And I don't know why I'm smelling it. I smelled it when I walked in the room. I'm smelling it even worse now. I don't know why there would be a Facebook group talking about the Sarah situation. Maybe no, I'm not. I am not a fan of maple syrup, so that would not be me craving anything. I'm not a fan. Um, yeah, it's better not to engage in stuff, to be honest. It's you. You're the maple syrup. Um, no. The takeaway though is, as a person who's had it happen, when you get online and you see this videos being made about you or this lives being talked about you, these people that do this kind of stuff, it's like they don't even realize that the person that they're talking about is an actual person. And it would be one thing if, one creator or two creators was going after Fancy, but it is a lot. And while I understand that she rubs people the wrong way, I don't understand why people just don't walk away. Why they just don't mind their business and walk away. I just don't understand it. Um, Now you think of Gypsy when you hear about barbecue sauce. Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, it's tit for tat to a point. I mean, again, you have to understand that if you poke a bear enough, the bear's going to snap. And you can try to walk away, turn the other cheek, be the better person, every other entendre you can think of. But eventually you just snap. I've done it. I've done it numerous times. I'm sick of the relentless bullying. I can't believe, Jesus Christ, where is it coming from? Oh, this is frustrating as shit. Of all the smells, it has to be the one that fucking freaks me out. There's a reason I'm not going into it. Anyway, I got completely sidetracked just from that. You can't expect somebody to just lay down. If it was one or two, it would be one thing, but it's not one or two. It's a lot of them. And the problem is they all end up, flocking. I don't know what happened personally. I don't know what happened with Morbid, because when I started, I started following him because he had a really cool interface on his YouTube. And he had about 1,600 followers at the time, and I had about 1,500. I was between 1,500 and 2,000. He had 1,600. And I was like, okay, well, this is another creator like me. I'm going to follow him. And when I started following him, in the beginning, everything was normal. It was a normal thing. You'd have people come on, people would talk. And I liken it to Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer used to have very normal content back in the 90s. And then somebody threw a chair and it turned into the Jerry Springer show. It's very reminiscent of that. Like, he had normal content, and I don't know what happened along the way, X amount of months ago, that he turned into some weird ass shock jock who let his crowd go wild and let all this stuff happen. But the fact that the chat isn't pleased at all, the panel isn't pleased at all. They sit on panel relentlessly bullying people. I've had to stop listening because I get so sick of it. Yeah. Did he start off as a journalist? I couldn't tell you. I don't know much about him. Apparently, Natasha had a live about him yesterday. I didn't see it, but I heard about it. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I've heard that that's what he does. I don't know, but I feel like, I don't think that's an okay thing to do. I popped in the other day. For those of you who don't know, I was on Bree's panel last night, and we were just kind of, for the most part, chilling. For the most part, we were talking about stuff that was whatever, but we were kind of chilling. And I would pop over there to see if people were reporting back or telling them lies or whatever. And the amount of misinformation that was coming out of that panel was wild. It was wild. People were saying, I mean, I saw numerous comments saying that Becca Scoops is in the witness protection program. Well, we played a clip showing that she turned it down. I don't know why she was offered it to begin with, but whatever. That ain't my business. But a clip showing that she turned it down. So that's not accurate. And I sat there and watched 920 people kissing her ass when here's my problem. So a lot of the people defending her are saying, well, she did this in the past. Why are we talking about it now? I don't know. Why are you talking about Fancy's past from 6 years ago? Why are you talking about my fabricated past or my husband's fabricated past? Why is it only when it's somebody that you follow or you care about that you give a fuck about what should happen? Because you guys have zero problem dragging up 2019 emails and infiltration groups, but when somebody is literally listing themselves as a profession they're not, and that is the whole shtick behind their channel, but y'all ain't gonna call that out. I don't understand that. If I'm trying to get my shtick into TikTok and I'm over here going, I'm a decorated author and I've been a policewoman for I used to be in the police academy and I know the ins and outs of police and blah blah blah, and then you come to find out that I was fired for uh handling a person too roughly, and I was fired for that. Would you take what I have to say as much gospel, knowing that I have put myself out there as somebody I'm not? And I've always questioned the fact of how is her being a psych nurse give any prevalence to the Gypsy case? The Gypsy case was never about mental illness. It was about abuse or non-abuse or whatever. It wasn't about mental illness. I never understood the whole shtick there to begin with. But I go over there and I see these people. Not only there's a whole reason I'm getting to this. Not only defending her tooth and nail over things that shouldn't be defended if you're going to play the games you're playing, but then to read the chat, which was absolutely abhorrent, saying awful things in another direction. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to roll this up because somebody is talking a lot and I missed it. Let's see. Yes, Fancy does get escalated. I agree. She has walked away a little bit as of recently. I've had to, we've talked to her. As for Toddy and that group, I think they're projecting their unresolved trash because they literally have nothing to do. I agree. The first time I came across Morbid, he was talking about and then 2 days later, he stopped talking about Gypsy and hasn't stopped. He started and he hasn't stopped since. He is a Howard Stern wannabe. I guess it can mess with Jerry Springer. I think it's disgusting how Nina acts on his panel. Apparently, she hasn't been around. I'm sure Dreamer had a live about him. That's fine, but he's had like 17 about her. So, like, what's the difference? Okay, so Mary, because I can tell that you are here to shit stir. If the past is the past, why do you keep bringing up Fancies? Why do you keep bringing up the emails? Why do you keep bringing up her failed businesses? Why do you keep bringing up her arrest from 25 years ago? If the past is the past and everybody is supposed to be just given a clean slate like Jesus, why is it okay to bring up some people's pasts and not others? That's what I want to know. Because either we're going to leave everybody's pasts in the past or we're going to bring up everybody's pasts. But we're not going to pick and choose whose past we decide to pick at. That's not how it's going to work. Yeah. I don't understand it. You guys are literally doing what you are vilifying other people for doing. And the stuff with Becca isn't in her past to begin with. It is current. She is currently saying that she is a nurse. She currently is not a nurse. That is current. That is current. And as for somebody saying that whole clip of her screaming about being a freaking homophobe is AI, I have a bridge in the Sahara to sell you. Okay. Now that you say that, I ain't seen Nina around lately. I've heard she's not over there. I don't go over there to like watch, so I don't know. Honest question, is Fancy on Team Gypsy now? I was confused because I saw her on Bree's panel last night. Okay, so let's go into that. No, she's not. She's not pro or Team Gypsy. Creators, by and large, do not have to be on the same side to get along. Months and months and months ago, right about the time that me and Christy had a falling out, a lot of the creators ended up getting pointed at each other. Okay, we all got spun up in directions and we all started going at each other. It was Brie against the world, and then a lot of people were against Fancy, a lot of people were against me. Natasha had people against her. We were all spun in a bunch of different directions. We were all attacking each other. And then a person came on scene that stirred it up even more. You guys have heard me talk about Midnight. And when the Midnight debacle blew up, it actually ended up bringing together sides that didn't agree on Gypsy, but that agreed that what was going on wasn't good. So just because Fancy or I is on Bree's panel doesn't mean we are now pro Gypsy. It means we are pro not allowing people to spin us into circles, or not allowing not going after each other in the way that we've been spun around to do. We all keep getting pointed at each other. I mean, I don't know how many times I've been in a live and somebody will come in and say, Bree's live and she said this about you. And then they'll go over to Bree's live and they'll be like, Ryan's live and Ryan said this about you. And the next thing you know, we're yelling at each other. And then this one's saying this one and this, because people are trying to just stir us up and stir us up. And it's like a game of piñata. Basically, if you put a blindfold on somebody and you just Marco Polo them with a stick, they're just going to swing wildly. And that's kind of what went on for months of people, these chaos seekers that would come into creators' lives and would essentially come in and mean to start chaos and start creator rivalries. And we started seeing after the Midnight thing happened that we were all just kind of being spun around. And it's more so the creators that have common sense at this point that are realizing that, we may not have a common interest, but we have a common goal. And the common goal is to not allow us all to be taken in by these chaos seekers that want to see us all crash and burn. So Fancy or me going on Bree's panel doesn't mean that we agree with thank you, doesn't mean that we agree with pro Gypsy anything. If you noticed when we were on Bree's panel, we stayed away 95%. We stayed away from the whole Gypsy topic. We were talking about other topics instead. I thank you for appreciating me. It's hard as a creator when every day, I said this earlier, but it now too, it's hard getting on there, and every day there's a video pointed at you. There's a live pointed at you. There's people that are disparaging you just because they don't like you, instead of just scrolling away from your content. And it's a lot easier to be able to center yourself on content or your life or whatever when you don't have to worry about, is Brie making a video about me? Is so-and-so making a video about me? Is so-and-so having a live about me? And I think that's part of the reason they do it to Fancy, because they know how easy she is to rile up. Fancy gets riled up if you look at her the wrong direction. She's in here. I don't care. Hey, Janae, thank you. That's my window that I love. She's in here, so know that I'm saying this in front of her face. They know how to rile her up, so they do it. And the more they rile her, the more she rises to the occasion, the more she gives them exactly what they want, the more they do it, the more she riles up, and is a rinse and repeat cycle. And they do this for a reason, to discredit her. Okay. What is the end game? I have no idea. But wait, they were coming together to talk harsh on another creator. So, okay, some of those, wait, hold on. We have all sorts of weird things going on in my chat right now. Hold on, there we go. Not really sure what that was about. They're not injured. They're fine. And you've already asked me that. I said they're my pets. Oh, I'm way the fuck up here. Whoa, that just jacked up. My bad, I didn't mean to snap. Yes, there's people that are coming together to hate on people as well. Yes, 1,000%. Hold on, there's some more over here. Hold on. Nina has a restraining order on one of the panelists, according to her. I would love to know how people just throw around getting restraining orders all the time. I mean, you can get them in Michigan all the time, so maybe so. I don't think they'll comprehend what until they have medical trauma, and then maybe they'll understand the impact. Probably not. You know what I've learned about all these true crime people? You better not cast stones from glass houses. I'm not saying it's okay, but people dig up every skeleton in your closet, right? Because as in somebody in the Rabid Pack likes to say, if you're a creator, you should expect it. And when you put yourself out there, you're going to get dug into, especially when you're making claims like you have inside sources because you're a nurse married to a cop and you have inside sources when lo and behold, your license has been revoked, your cop is retired, and you don't have what you say you're having, which is what gave you the credentials for people to pay attention to you, because all that Becca's ever done is regurgitate all the fancy stuff and put her name and her face on it in a much more calmer tone, because that's the problem with Fancy is she can't deliver worth of shit. She's got a plethora of information, but her whole delivery is god fucking awful. So if you get a calmer person to put out the exact same facts, it's going to go over well. That's how the Crama creators make money, though. Drama, it's why they do it over and over and over. Exactly. Dreamer interviewed some dude that knows more, but it was kind of interesting for the 10 minutes I watched. I don't follow Nina. The last I heard is when she flipped out on Ken, like she was having some sort of mania or something. I did hear about that. People can be cordial. It doesn't mean that they're all this and that. And you provided no proof of the evidence she claims her source gave. Right. Not too much on Fancy now. I don't know what that means. Yes, they're busy making 12 eggs. They better not make any more than the 2 eggs they made, dude, or I'm making an omelet. I'm not, but I'm just saying. I don't know. It's very strange to me how everything had died down. Everything had died down considerably for like weeks or a month. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a group of people have been coming after Fancy, which is really weird to me. Like everything was fine. And then they all kind of just grouped together and just attacked. And I'm getting drug in on the side fact. You unfollowed Nina. She's been very racist and you can't stand that word. Yeah, well, been there, done that. If you guys remember the whiteface. Anyway, the problem is, and why I'm agitated when it comes to all of the Fancy hate. Number one, I've been there, but number two, I keep getting drugged into it. I put out the email of Nick, and Toddy's in my comments doing this about Fancy, and Fancy had nothing to do with the fact that I chose to put that email out to let people know what it was they were backing. I don't need every comment in my comments to have the word Fancy in it. Okay, Fancy's her own person. I'm my own person. And if you have a problem with Fancy, take it up with Fancy and Fancy's comments. Don't take it up with Fancy and Ryan's comments. And it's very frustrating. So when they attack her, I keep getting drugged into the fray because I talk to her. That's stupid. We don't have the same viewpoints on a lot of stuff. So to sit here and act like everything she does is what I think or do is frankly stupid. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? By the way, I'm on Ryan Lee TM on YouTube. That's where all my lives are. I will only be on TikTok for a portion of this live. If you want to continue watching, go to Ryan Lee TM on YouTube. I'm still on TikTok for right now, though. But I don't even understand, you'll wait for the investigation to be completed before I pass my judgment. There will be no investigation. There's no investigation to be had. These emails had no effect on a trial. These emails came after a trial, so they did not affect the trial. The emails were not submitted into his appeal. They did not affect his appeal. The emails have no precedence over the current last-ditch appeal that is now. So what investigation is there to be had on 6-year-old emails between an inmate and his girlfriend that the girlfriend then gave to someone else who, not even Fancy, put them out in 2019? Some name with Cajun in it. So I don't remember the exact name, but a name with Cajun in it put them out in 2019. These emails have been out for 6 years. I'm sorry that some of you people are too fucking lazy to go find this stuff. Toddy asked me, well, where they been? Why don't I know about them? I don't know. I have no idea, but I have them. Fancy has them. Other people have them. They've been put out since 2019. So I'm not really understanding what the issue is. What'd you miss? I have no idea. But you can watch you can watch the beginning of the live at Ryan Lee TM on YouTube. Yeah, social, I don't believe anything until I see it, to be honest. Yeah, the emails were in Fancy's podcast. They were also released by somebody named Cajun something in a community as well. There is no investigation, and you guys will see this in the next upcoming weeks and months. Just because somebody says they're going to investigate it doesn't mean it's going to happen. There's no reason to investigate emails from 6 years ago that had no precedence on a murder case. They don't care. Number one, again, I will reiterate this again for the people in the back. These emails happened 4 years after the murder, so they did not affect the first case. They did not affect the appeal. The appeal was not shot down because of emails. So they had no bearing in the second appeal. So there was no interference to be had. As for this last ditch appeal that is happening in the Supreme Court, again, they are not going to take emails between an inmate and his girlfriend fighting that have nothing to do with the murder case that is being investigated and put them in with an appeal. That's not how this works. There's no investigation to be had. There's nothing to investigate. Putting out somebody's emails is not a crime, and it's not impeding a case, because here's the deal. Number one, if they use, okay, do you not understand? Number one, they could go get these emails themselves. They could have literally went in, and his lawyers could have went in and got all of them and been well prepared. Okay. These emails are there. They're able to be got. They could get them themselves. They didn't, because they have no bearing on this case. This is a complete separate issue. And exactly what jurisdiction is investigating, your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. I would love to know. Just here's the thing. Just because you walk into a police station and hand them some emails and go, big baddies on the internet are being mean poo-poo heads, can you please look into this from 6 years ago because I said so? They're not going to do it. There was nothing illegal done. They were not impeding the case. They were not impeding a trial. They were not even garnered illegally. One of the participants in the emails handed them over. They were not stolen. They were not hacked. It was I'm going to make this as plain as I can possibly say it. Nick and a girlfriend were arguing via texts. The girlfriend hands the text over, like many of us do, to our friends when we are fighting with our significant other. And they ended up getting leaked. The only reason why it's sensational now is because it involves a murder case. And the only reason that it's controversial now is people who backed Nick now have pie on their face and don't want to believe it. Toddy went to police in New York. Nick is in Missouri, and Dawn's in another state. Exactly. Right. Just because it's new to some, that doesn't mean it was new to everybody. Can we talk for a minute about the flaws in the deductive reasoning, please? Nick does not have a girlfriend currently that I am aware of. Maybe he does. I don't know. This was back in 2019 where he actually had a few different girlfriends, but the one we were speaking about was Dawn. I quit following all of them. One day they're friends. Next, they're releasing very personal info they shared as friends. It's crazy enough in real life out here now. Okay. There's multiple people that claim to have professional credentials, and it's false because they wouldn't be saying what they say on social media. I agree. I guess it's the new thing that if you have to take accountability for whoever you are associated with. It's pathetic that they have to be finding this shit to harass Fancy, that it's all about content. If people took a quarter of the energy, effort, and time that they take bashing other creators, especially Fancy, they would be able to take that and put it into content that actually mattered. Becca is a fraud, end of story. Listen to the letters with the ex prior to the murder kind of changes things for me. That's the problem, Bubbles, is I talked about the fact that there was a really horrible email for the past year. I've talked about it. I didn't have my hands on it because I was stupid and didn't steal it out of the database when I saw it. Okay, I saw it a year ago. I didn't, because I gave her my word I wouldn't screenshot anything. I didn't. It's taken me, I don't know, 6, 8 months. I don't know. Time is of the essence, but it's taken me this long to get her to give me the goddamn email. And otherwise you guys would have gotten it sooner. And I tried to get it out, what, 3 months ago, 3, 4 months ago, back right when I got back to talking to her. I asked her for the damn thing and she wouldn't give it to me. Fancy is easy picking. She's very easy because she's very easy to manipulate in the fact of emotional regulation. They know exactly how to get to her. They know how to get to her. They know how to push her buttons. They know how to make her yell and scream and look unprofessional. And that's what they do. They spend all their time doing that. So then she looks uncredible. And then somebody like Becca comes in, says she's a nurse when she's not, that she's married to a cop who's retired, that she has an inside source that probably isn't accurate, takes all of Fancy's information and says it very calmly. And y'all were singing her fucking praises. That's the problem. If Fancy had come to everybody else with this calm demeanor and this fucking paint drying voice, y'all would have listened, because Fancy is hard to take for a lot of people. That's just how it is. They're just going to believe what they want to believe. So let them weigh eons for the investigation. I gotta know. Like, I want to see the investigation. I want videos on it. I hope that they take the time out of Fancy Jeopardy to make videos on how the investigation is progressing. That's what I want to know. You knew from the first video she was stealing Fancy stuff because she had the wrong Dan too. Yeah. I mean, everything that she, it was so frustrating in the beginning because everyone's like, watch Becca, watch Becca. We're like, why? We just said the same shit last week. We literally said the same shit. Why would we need to watch somebody say the same thing we just said last week? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Hold on. I still smell maple fucking syrup, y'all. I still smell maple syrup, and it is driving me nuts. If she had a real source close to the investigation, she wouldn't have had the wrong Dan. That's that's good, Chrissy. That's good. I love Fancy. She cracks me up and always has facts. Even if she makes a mistake, she corrects herself. Well, usually, sometimes her ego gets in the way, but she usually will correct herself. I understand why Fancy's unpalatable. I understand why I am unpalatable. We are very brash people. We say what it is. We mean what we say. We don't give a fuck whether or not you like it, don't like it. And so we come off brash and unlikable. And I understand that. But just because that does not take down the credibility issue at all, just because you don't like the delivery of something doesn't mean that what is being said is not true. And when somebody comes along and slaps a paint drying voice on it, doesn't make that person any more credible when all they have done is regurgitated the content that was given to them to begin with. Fancy's been on a shit list since 2019. Well, that's accurate. That's accurate. I'm on Ryan Lee TM on YouTube, by the way, for you wonderful people on TikTok. Go follow me over there. I don't understand why, Chrissy. I'm sorry. I'm not meaning to be mean, but I don't understand why. It's the same. Fancy said everything that Becca's ever said. Everything that Becca's ever said. Becca has no. Okay, for those people who want to defend her tooth and nail, give me one thing that Becca had that Fancy didn't. I'll wait. Give me one item that Becca broke that Fancy didn't have. Whether or not you believe the dryer sheet theory, I put that out a week and a half before Becca did, and then she went even farther and said that she found it in the search history. No, she didn't. Fancy has the search history, number one. Number two, if you had it in the search history, where the hell was it until after I brought it up a week and a half earlier? Because I find it really odd that it was sitting there in the search history this entire time, and you could have blown it out there and pushed it out there. Hey, Veros. And shown the search history and said, look, this is what I found. And instead, only after I say something a week and a half later, you put your paint drying voice on it and you take it and you say that you found it in the search history. You'll show the search history and you go back and you look at the date of when she did it and they'll look at the date of when I did it and you will see exactly my point. Yes, Chrissy, I noticed that. They never spoke about dryer sheets until after you and Fancy talked about them. Cats and Crochet's biggest supporters are barking the loudest. Well, anybody who believed that woman, look, that woman was a red flag from go. From go. And Morbid only kept her around because she was entertaining because everybody could see through her. Apparently everybody couldn't because, well, there's people that believed it. Why do I smell maple fucking syrup? This is driving me insane. I hate the smell of maple syrup, and that's all I can smell right now. I knew the second she was on Starlight with Becca, she was a fraud. Well, she didn't make no damn sense. Why are we doing this? That is stupid. It's not, I don't know. There's no plants. There's a plant behind here, but it's not. I don't know what it is. I have no idea why I smell maple syrup, but it is driving me crazy. When they learned how to form a hypothesis in high school, they need to implement that thinking. I agree. You learned about the dryer sheets from me and Fancy. First of all, okay, let's go down this one last time. There is no me and Fancy on this. I'm the one who figured it out. And now whether or not you tend to believe that theory, that's fine. But there is no whatever. I actually caught that one on my own. You guys can believe it, not believe it. That's my particular thing I found. Thea tried to do it 9 hours after I did it. Becca tried to do it a week and a half after I did it. Y'all wanted to say that I was crazy, that I was looking too far into stuff. But the minute that Becca put her stamp of approval on it and her face on it and her paint drying voice on it, y'all ran and said, oh, Becca's amazing. But that didn't happen when I put it out there. So if somebody is visiting me when I smell something that wasn't somebody. Oh, yeah, but nobody is around maple syrup. I don't understand this. It's so annoying. Yes, we were scrolling the crime scene photos when it happened. How am I doing today? Well, like shit, I don't feel very good. Ryan Lee TM on YouTube. Yeah. I don't know, but whoever, yeah, well, whatever spirit this is, it's trying to send me maple syrup is not great because all that's going to do is give me anxiety. Look, I have problems with maple syrup. And it's not even the maple syrup, it's the smell of maple syrup. Because now that's all I'm going to think about because if somebody's trying to get my attention, all I'm thinking about is now I'm going to have car problems. I did not get flooded. An area around me got flooded. An area in my town got flooded. Around me is flooded. I am okay. I am okay. I'm all right. Right. My husband had caramel vape. But I don't think he had it in here earlier. And I don't have caramel anything in here. I don't even know where it's coming from. I can just smell it around me and it is driving me insane because all I can think of is car problems. Yeah, pictures of my hometown that looked awful. Well, it's not my hometown, but it's where I live now. But yeah. Yeah, we're supposed to be having some winter storm thing, except it says it's not going to snow, but it is going to snow. I have no idea. But yeah. It's just frustrating. And I think the biggest problem of people that are backing Becca the way they are people that don't want pie on their face. Because when you put out there and show, hey, this person isn't who they say they are, they're going to look dumb for falling for it. So now they're going to double back even harder and be like, no, and like accept it. Like, here's the deal. She could just cop to it all. That's what you guys always want Fancy to do, accept responsibility, take accountability. Why doesn't she just do that? It'd be easy. My thing is, how are all these people excusing the stuff that comes out about her? I don't understand. I don't know. I mean, I heard the horrible homophobic rant. That's what pissed me off the most. I had no clue until I saw Bree's video about that homophobic rant. And that's what turned my stomach more than anything. Okay, look, I'm agitated. She stole one of my theories. I'm agitated that people kiss her ass for regurgitating content. But when I heard the homophobic rant, that's what upset me more than anything. Yeah, I don't understand anybody. I don't understand people that are not listening to that rant and going, okay, yeah, this is acceptable behavior. And I went into Morbid's room when like I said, I was going back and forth between when I was on Bree's panel. Before I popped on to Bree's panel, I was looking to see if people were doing the whole he said, she said thing. And, everybody's talking about the whole doxing things, doxing. And everything that Bree found was public record. Everything. She didn't have to pay for any of that. Doxing, essentially, legally, is doxing. There is the verb doxing that people use in everyday rhetoric. And then there is doxing that is a legal term. And people are confusing the two of them. Saying someone's name isn't doxing. That's not. Bree went and found this information. It was free on the internet. And so to ask you then, the website that Bree got Becca's revocation of her license on, is that doxing Becca? Did that site also dox Becca? Because that had her name, all of her charges, her nurse number, everything. Did the site that Bree got it off of dox Becca? Because if it didn't, then Bree didn't dox Becca. Because she got it off of a website that already housed the information to let the public know, hey, this person isn't a nurse. Don't go to her. She's not a nurse. So, yeah, I know the rifle thing. I know. Social, I can't. Look, I'm from the north and we all talk really, really fast. And if you talk slow, I can't listen. Like, I will lose interest on my train of thought. Well, I will be hopping trains all the way down the way. I can't listen to people talk very slowly and methodically about the things that they found and how interesting and thorough they are. And if you listen and you sit and you wait right here, we're going to discuss the things that I found. And when we discuss the thing, shut up, just talk, motherfucker. Toddy believes Becca. Toddy believes Sarah. So, I mean, does that surprise you? Are you surprised? Look, I don't want to be around maple syrup. Now I'm paranoid my car is going to break down. Y'all, have you ever had a radiator leak? Have you ever had a radiator leak? I was in my car. I was in my 20s. And, I'm not doing that 2 times bullshit. I've already done lost all of whatever. I'm out. Okay, so if you've had a radiator leak, I was in my 20s and all I could smell was maple syrup. Maple syrup. That's all I could fucking smell. It drove me insane. Guess what? You know what smells like maple syrup? Radiator fluid. Antifreeze. Smells like it. And so now all I'm thinking is there's some ghosty wosty dangling around in my room trying to say, hey, your radiator's going to go out. I don't need that right now. My husband decided he wanted to spend a fortune on something that is making me want to scream. I don't have any money for my radiator to go out right now. So if the ghosty gods are trying to tell me that I'm going to have car problems, please don't do that. I don't need car problems. It's not my vape. My vape is actually dewberry, so it smells like melons. Because that's where my brain is going. Today was actually a halfway decent day. Yesterday, not so awesome. The fucking 4 days before this, not so awesome. Yet today, calm down. I got good news. I got like one, two, three. I got like three things of good news today. I'm waiting for one bad one. I'm waiting for the one bad one. But I got like three good things of good news today. Like I don't need like anything. Like can we just slow down and let me have a good day? Do I have a central air system in my house? Yes. It only smells like it in this room. It's just in here. Just in here. It was when I walked in the room, I smell it in here and I don't know where it's coming from. Yeah, because like antifreeze, yes. Like I said, like a radiator, antifreeze. I'm only smelling it in here. So I'm wondering if my computer needs to be like shut down for a minute. It's already being glitchy, so maybe it's something like that. Let me see something. Hold on. It's weird because I don't actually smell it. I don't actually smell it. It's like I imagine I smell it. Does that make sense? I think my computer needs to be turned off for a minute. I think it's like it smells like the computer is hot. Does that make sense? It smells like my computer could be hot. Does that make sense? I haven't shut my computer down in like I don't know months. So, do I want pancakes? It is. It's like stuck in my nose. Like I just smelled around the entire room and I don't actually smell it. So, I mean, my husband he had his vape earlier and I don't know if it just came in the room and it like stuck in my nose. I don't know, but it's driving me crazy. Just saying. Speaking of vape, I'll be right back. All right. I'm extremely bothered by her practicing out of her scope. And then hearing the rant bothered me. Thank God she's not a nurse. She's severely biased and imagine how she would treat patients. Yeah. I mean, that's not a lie. That's not a lie. If that snoring you hear is Sissy, she's conking logs down on the floor down here. Um, I think, hold on. I smell smoke all the time because of the house fire you had, and it scares me all the time. Yeah, I get in the car if I remotely smell maple syrup in the car, I will like my husband knows not to maple vape in the car because he'll go, "Does this bother you?" By the way, I'm smoking maple right now. He will literally tell me, I'll get in the car and he's like, I'm smoking maple right now. Just so you know, I'm smoking maple right now. Because I will literally start having a freaking meltdown in the car. The rant is very telling. It is. And, I don't understand how any of those 920 people that were in there absolutely kissing her ass that day, how any of them, if they were LGBTQ, could back that. Here's my thing. I had the conversation with Fancy. Without going into what Fancy believes or doesn't believe, there's things about LGBTQ that we disagree on. She's been very vocal about the fact that she believes that they should be able to get married. Okay. But I told her, I said, if you were my friend and you, with all your heart, thought that gay people shouldn't be married, and you were my friend, and you said to me, Ryan, I don't think gay people should be married, but that's what I think, and I'm not going to try to shove it down your throat. I would say, I respect your opinion, however wrong it may be, and move on with it. Then I would move on from it. But to go on that type of diatribe and shriek about how people aren't going to get married at your altar because it offends you, I'm sorry. Because you're on a diet doesn't mean I can't have pie. I don't really care if what my life that involves nothing that you don't involve my life. You are not in my life. You don't get to say what is going on in my life. So if I want to marry somebody, you ain't you if you hold on. Puzzle piece. I hate puzzle pieces. Can I just say that? As I will say a million times, if you are not fucking me, financing me, or feeding me, you don't get a say in my life. So if I want to marry a fucking alpaca, you don't get to say, I don't think you should do that. It is not up to you. The only part that is up to you is whether or not you marry an alpaca. If you don't like gay marriage, don't get gay married. If you don't want to smoke pot, don't smoke pot. But what you're not going to do is look at me and tell me I can't marry who I want and I can't smoke what I want. You do you, I'm going to do me. You can have your opinions. I don't care. Just don't try to shove them down my throat. It's not hard. You're allowed to have, not that it's good and not that I agree with it, you're allowed to have bigoted opinions. But screaming them from a rooftop where people could record you doing it and then backtracking and acting like it didn't happen is not okay. If you said that stuff to the effect that you did, I mean, she was standing 10 toes down on business in that recording. 10 toes down on business. Have that same energy. Stand by it now. Say what I said then is what I say now. Stand on your business. You wanted to act like that, keep acting like that and see where it gets you. I'm Ryan Lee TM on YouTube. Please give me a follow. I think it's my shoes. My slippers. It might be my slippers. Oh. I don't care if you restrict me. Jesus Christ. I am 42 fucking years old. If I want to smoke, the fact that I have to lean off screen as a tax-paying citizen when I am 42 years old is insane. And this is why I hate going live on TikTok. It's why I go live on YouTube, because I can smoke over there as a fucking adult. It's got to, we're restricting you because of tobacco. I'm an adult, bitch. I can do what I want. So, I could be having unresolved trauma resurface. Right, but that's a really weird thing to resurface at 1 o'clock in the morning. That'd be a really weird thing, just out of nowhere. Just be like, car trauma! Of course, then again, with everything going on, that, oh God, don't even get me started. I feel like I'm having an epiphany and I don't want it. Yeah, there's a lot of people who I've watched make videos smoking. They'll inhale their vape, they'll inhale their cigarette, they'll blow out smoke. I lean off camera and I get it. It's wild. I lean off camera and I get it. I swear, I think it's my computer. Like, not even kidding. For some reason, I think it's my computer. I'm not smelling exactly maple when I smell my computer, but like, I feel like that could be could be what it is. I don't know. It's weird. I know. It's very annoying though. I have been smelling cigarette smoke in my house, which is wild because nobody smells cigarettes. Nobody smokes cigarettes in my house. And I smell cigarette smoke a lot, but my mom smoked like a chimney. So I try to welcome the cigarette smoke, even though I can't stand it. It might be a symptom of something. Maybe my brain's short circuiting. I don't know. It just happened right before I got on the live. I came in the room and I was like, huh, that's weird. I smelled maple syrup. And I sat down and everything is fine. And then I got on the live and then I got hit with it really, really hard. And then it went away. And now I don't smell it, but my brain thinks I'm smelling it, if that makes any sense. Do I have seizures? Yes. I have temporal lobe. And that could be an aura seizure, I'm aware. Yeah, I'm aware she wants to come up. I can finish talking before I accept her up here. She likes to talk, so I'd like to finish what I was saying. And my computer hasn't been shut off for like 6 months. So if it's hot, it probably needs a fucking break. Like I said, I don't know if it is that. Yeah, no, I have temporal lobe. So there it is. What in the hell? Holy Moses. This is insanity. What? This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Like, this is freaking me the fuck out. Oh my God. Yeah, I also have diabetes. Yeah, I'm a failing mess of gelatinous goo. I am aware. I don't know. This is bizarre. Like, this is straight up. This is wild. I just keep getting whiffs of freaking maple syrup. All right, come up here while I have my meltdown. All right, come up here while I have my meltdown.
First of all, are you okay?
I don't know.
You're not smelling toast, are you?
No, why?
All right, come up here while I have my meltdown. First of all, are you okay? I don't know. You're not smelling toast, are you?
No, why?
Because toast is an indication of a stroke.
Oh.
So that was why I wanted to ask that.
No, I'm smelling maple syrup.
Okay. So I just finished the 51st chapter of the book, and that is the final chapter of the 4th book.
Good. That's the what one is that? Is that the gypsy one or the Nick one?
No, this one is the dispelling all the lies. So there's going to be a second second book that goes with this, because there's at least another 40 chapters to do. I outlined all of it, trying to break down all the lies, all the stories, all the things, and extra, also my own extra like take on it and research and things like that, But yeah, 51 chapters. Let's see. I want to see how many pages it is. 62,829 words.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I'm kind of proud. That's what we've been working on. Like I said, I got sick and we had already started this, and I got not being able to get off my couch for several days. I just wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. So, but yeah, this takes us through quite a long, lengthy bit of the lies, everything, all of the medical lies. It goes through some of the lies that they told about Dee Dee, a lot. And then in the next book, we go more into after the schmurder and all of that, and the lies that have been told that way. But this is basically, we looked at every single documentary, every article, everything. And we took it and put their words in order of when they said it and how it changed. So I'm really excited. Like, this is something that we've been wanting to do for a really long time.
I think it's my refrigerator in here.
Oh, really?
I think. I have a refrigerator sitting right there, and I went up and smelled it, and I kind of smelled it. So I opened up the refrigerator, and it's not cold in there.
Yeah. You know what? I just had this thought. Toddy is saying that where the hell have these emails been, right? You said that earlier, right?
Yeah. Unplug it ASAP.
Okay, well, here's my thought process on that, Toddy. So if I hadn't put them out anywhere and nobody knew about them because you didn't know about them, I'm just confused as to how that would have hurt Nicholas in any way if I never had put them out, according to you, until now.
Right.
I mean, you can't have it both ways. You can't tell me that I didn't put him out and you didn't know about him, or that I fucked with his appeal. You can't. This is not how this works.
Right. Fun fact, the refrigerator has been unplugged, which is why it's not cold. I just found it. It's not plugged in.
Oh, great. That probably is your maple syrup smell. And I hope that yours, how long has it not been plugged in? Because you better be worried about that if it's been unplugged for a while. It could be smelling because of that, dude.
Yeah, there's like nothing in it. So, I mean.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's good.
Yeah. But like when I stick my nose next to the refrigerator, like right on top of it, I can smell it. So I think the problem is ever since I had nose surgery, when I was like 20, I had my tonsils, my adenoids, and I had a deviated septum fixed. And when they fixed the deviated septum, I became a super smeller.
Oh yeah.
And I can smell shit that like most people can't smell. So if there's even a drip of, like I went into a bank once and I looked at the girl and I was like, why do I smell macaroni and cheese? And she looked at me and she said, we had macaroni and cheese an hour ago in the break room. And I was like, well, it smells like it's on your desk. So it could literally be that. Like I could literally have just got a tiny, because that's about where it was when I started smelling it. So it may be from there. There's nothing on the floor, nothing. Like there's nothing on the floor. But when I stick my nose next to the refrigerator, I do actually smell it to a point.
It could be the coolant.
Yeah. So I wasn't meaning to like piss on your book parade, but like unfortunately I'm over here wondering if I'm in the mid seizure or not.
No, it's perfectly fine. I'm excited. This is the book I've wanted to write. Like the lie book. This is the lie book.
Right.
I've been working on this a long time. So.
So when will it be out then?
I'm gonna have to discuss it with Mac. I mean, this is just the first draft, so we're gonna go through, do our revisions, things like that. But my first drafts are usually pretty thorough. It doesn't usually take but a couple of tweaks usually, and because I worked with the outline first and all of that, and used things to help me with the outline of stuff, I don't think we're gonna have to do a whole lot to it. So I don't know, but we want to kind of coincide it with going on tour. And we're thinking about changing the tour, so we do a local tour first, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It just kind of, I'm contracting with Ingram Spark this time, I think, so that it can be in other bookstores, because I didn't do that with the first three. I did them my own through Amazon.
Right.
So I can produce second editions if I want to, at other bookstores, but I couldn't use the same. It's an USBN number. I can't use that same USBN number everywhere because it's an Amazon one.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it's all complicated. And now since we own the publishing house, we're trying to establish that. So it's just going to take us a little bit. But, I mean, it's done. And I'm hoping that we'll have the second part of it done pretty quickly, too. And maybe we'll do them both at the same time. So that way everybody can get the whole live.
Right. I mean, that could be a good idea.
We might wait 3 months in between, is what Mac and I were talking about before, is doing a book through every 3 months.
That's cool.
So, yeah, because we've got several more in the series. Like I said, we wanted to do a Nick one, a Dee Dee one, and then our final one. We've even thought about doing the whole All the Men, because there was a lot of them, and it's very interesting, all the men in her life.
I feel like that should be one book with everybody getting a different chapter, though.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
I'll
exactly.
Be right.
And it, like, even from her dad to her grandfather to all the other men, in her life, I think that would be a really interesting one to look at psychologically. So that one may come a little later. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I want to work on that one and talk and finish I'd like to finish my degree before I write that one, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that one it'd probably be a good one for me to use for, like my thesis for my master's or whatever. So.
Right.
Yeah. But
well, when did you get your bachelor's?
I will finish my bachelor's sometime this year. I called my school and I'm waiting to find out about the financial aid, how we're going to handle it. So I'll finish that this year or very early next year if I don't get in till fall.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. And then my plan is to go to Purdue and get my law degree, which is 2 more years, and then go back 2 more years and write the master's. and do the master's. So it's like, what, 6 more years, or what, 4 more years, 5 more years of school. 5 more years of school.
I don't think that law school, don't you have to have like actual money down for that?
No, Purdue University is the very first university that has an all online
Really?
legal or lawyers
I can take her.
program, and it's our law program, and it's the first one that is accredited, that is online, that you can go and actually sit for the bar. You sit for the bar in California, you get licensed in California first, and then you can take that license and you can get licensed in any other state you want to, so so you can do that. So I've already talked with Purdue. As soon as I've already been accepted for that, as once I finish up my degree, they've already talked to me about it and put me on the wait list for it to get into the classes and everything. And then that'll take 2 years, and then another 2 years I would finish up my master's degree.
I've heard law school takes like 8 years.
Not if you've already done all your pre-law and everything. I just do the legal program. It's all I have to do. So that's, I don't know. It's a new program, brand new program.
And I don't know how I feel about having if I found out that my lawyer learned everything online, I would get a different lawyer.
What's the difference? We have lectures, we have interactions with other students. I don't think there's anything. It's not like, I don't know. It's like I'm just learning it on Google. I mean, there's an actual teacher. And
I get it, but
homework and all the same stuff.
Oh, law school's 3 years. Okay, I thought it was like 8. Law school's only 3 years.
I might have to do like an internship or something like that. That might be part of it. I don't know. So
yeah,
like clerking at a law office or something like that.
I can't afford to do any more college. I would love to. There's something I would love to go and do, and I looked into it when I got out of graphic design. Specs went through Rochester College, which was a 4-year college, and I went while I was there. I don't even know what the hell I was thinking, but I'm there for graphic design, and I went to go see, and I actually went to try to sign up for what I wanted to do, like a 4-year degree, and it was $40,000, and I'm like, I couldn't afford to do it.
Yeah,
I couldn't afford to do it. I mean,
did you use up all your Pell Grant? You doing that?
I can't get no Pell Grant. I got one. My husband was on workman's comp for 11 months out of a freaking year, and we bottomed out, tanked. That's how we ended up in our first bankruptcy. We went through all of our savings, and they gave me a credit, which is how I kind of went the first time. But the next year, taxes roll around. They take that into consideration. There was no way in hell I was getting any type of fucking help other than your FAFSA.
Yeah. Oh,
and I'm sorry. I can't get behind that. I know. Look, if for all the college goers in here, kudos to you. I'm not going to be in lifelong debt for the rest of my life. I'm sorry. I'm just not doing it. Not doing it.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. I can do it because I can get grants and things, and that's why I'm doing it. Bubbles, I have not taken the LSAT yet. I have been studying for the LSAT. I will take it sometime this year, and then that'll be sent over to the school as well. So I'm really excited. Like, I enjoy education. I don't like writing the papers and all that shit. I really don't. I would rather just learn the information and take a test at the end,
Yeah.
But I like writing papers too because I get insight into it. But I just don't like all the mundane homework.
I'm still kicking my ass because last year I was accepted full ride into a pharmacology thing, and I ended up doubting myself and being stressed and realizing I wasn't going to have time between work and this and that I ended up not going, and I'm still kicking myself over it. And now I can't justify going back and going because I know that I could never hold a damn job to worry about having it. So, but I kicked myself for not going, but I wish it had things been differently. I wish I could have went through that college and went and got to do what I really wanted to do.
Yeah. I'm only doing it, like, my big thing is even if I sit for the bar, I don't know that I'll ever practice law in a court of law. I'm really looking at like an analyst kind of thing and helping myself with our investigations into true crime, and that's also why I want to further and get the master's degree in forensic psychology. I really would like to focus on the thought processes of unalivers, and there's several different mediums I can go. I'm trying to figure out which way I want to go with.
Well, I'd rather do psychology then. Psychology would make more sense.
Yeah, well, the law one, I want to understand the laws. I want to understand what I'm talking about when I'm covering a trial.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And how do you defend somebody, and then if I ever need to defend anything, or if I need to represent myself in court for the company, even, like in business and stuff, I would be able to at least assist in some of those things, so that's smart business, is to do that. Like my best friend, whose whole family is lawyers, her sister runs her own business. She's never done law other than for the business. So anyway, if you want me to get down so you can continue your night talking, I can. Or do you enjoy me being here? I don't know.
Well, we can hang out and talk for a little bit longer. Why not? If you guys haven't followed Ryan Lee TM on YouTube, please go do that. I'm still trying. Look, I have some plans for YouTube. I don't know when they're coming to fruition, but I'm working on it. Fancy said she's going to try to help me with some editing software because I don't have a good editing suite. So she says that she's going to give me some insight to some editing. That way I could actually get my YouTube content out that I'm trying to do that I can't do because I do not have an editing suite. At all.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that I can figure it out, but we'll see. My biggest problem right now is the only recording device I have is my phone, and my phone is going off my phone goes off nonstop. So It's hard to film anything, any type of content when you're getting constant notifications. But I think I thought about it the other day, and I think if I just put it on airplane mode, I'll be all right.
Yeah, sure.
That's the only thing I could think of, is to put it on airplane mode, because my phone is going off nonstop with notifications. And I don't even have notifications for a lot of things on. It's just, text messages and whatever that. But I don't, my husband has notifications on for everything. That man's phone. I'm like, what was that? Oh, it was YouTube. Well, what is it? Well, oh, it was TikTok. What was it? Well, oh, it was an email. And I'm like, how do you listen to that? How? And they're all sound too. They all go, meep, meep, like the Roadrunner. And I'm like, how do you listen to that all goddamn day?
God, that would drive me nuts.
I don't even have any sound notifications on my phone, but it drops down up here. So I'll be doing something and it drops down. And it squirrels me off into another direction. So it's frustrating. It's not the fact I'm too busy. I don't know.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I just get and not only that, but living in Kentucky, I'm getting weather updates. I'm not even kidding. I will get a drop down weather, that there's I've gotten over the past 4 days, I've gotten no less than 40 flood alerts, because they will re-update them every hour. And so I'm getting my weather app is insane. It's going to snow. It's going to rain. It's going to snow. It's going to rain. Lightning struck 15 miles from here. It's snowing. It's going to stop snowing. It's going to start again snowing in another 7 minutes. Oh, wait, no, it stopped. Oh my God. It's nonstop,
It's driving me insane.
I don't know how many flood warnings we've gotten in the past 3 days. It's stayed on flood warning. I didn't even realize how bad Kentucky's flooding was until I got on TikTok, which my husband still swears it's not that bad because he drove down I-75 and didn't see any of it. And I'm like, babe, it's all in the hollers. All of the flooding is in the hollers. And the hollers are far from the interstate. We made it on, I think it was ABC or Daily Mail or something, my town. And we're looking at this aerial of my town and going, where is that? Because we can't figure out where it is, but it's in my town. It says right on there that it's my town. And I'm like, where? Because I don't recognize this area, because it's all in the hollers.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, we have a bunch of them for some winter storm thing too now coming. It was all floods, and now I'm keep getting them for winter weather advisory. And then you go and look, and it doesn't even show that it's going to be snowing. And I'm like, and then they're like, well, you're going to get 3 inches. Where? Because I just looked it up. It says there's no snow. How? How am I going to get 3 inches when I have a 1% chance of snow? What did you get your bachelor's in?
Yeah.
What did you get your bachelor's in?
My bachelor's?
Yeah.
My bachelor's is going to be in forensic psychology. That's what I'm finishing up this year.
I heard that. Well, I didn't know. I thought somebody told me something about 6 years for forensic psychology.
No, it's for a regular thing. And the only reason it's taking me look, I finished my core classes years ago.
Field
and
placements.
Then I've just tried to bounce around figuring out what the hell it is that I wanted to do. Right.
Right.
I've tried a couple of different things, and then when I went back this time, I literally only had, was it 8 classes or 10 classes that I had to take? It was all core classes. So that's how I can finish it right now. This is my last year of all 4 years. So it's taken me, a long ass time because I've gone back to school several times. But when I walked into this degree, all I had to do was core, and I was so excited. I was like, that's perfect. Because I don't want to freaking sit around doing freaking math. I'm sorry. I don't give a flying fadoodle about it.
But you still got to do at least one math class.
I want to do what I want to do.
I mean, every core has a math class.
That's what I'm saying. I did that years ago.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I did that all years and years and years and years ago. Yeah. So.
I mean, I love the concept of school. I don't love the concept of paying out the nose for it. That's my biggest problem. Is I just can't.
I agree with that.
And I have this bad penchant of wanting to do things that are not applicable to my area. When I went into graphic design, I didn't realize not living in like an urban city was going to affect the situation, and it does. And then the other thing that when I wanted to go for my 4 year, I wanted to go to be a CSI technician. And I mean, I don't see my town, having a huge CSI department. I have
the state police. The state police do, though.
Yeah, which we have one of those here.
Yeah, the state police do. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was up in Michigan, though, so I wish that there was something I could do. Yeah, the school loans to me. One time I sat there and I thought about. I'm like, okay, so let's say you make $100,000 a year, so break that into 12 months. And then your school loans, let's say your school loans are $400 a month. By the time you minus $400 from your base pay of whatever it is you're making, and you minus $400 off of that, are you really faring X amount better than if you had just gotten a good factory job?
Sure.
Is where my brain goes. And for some people, a lot of people, maybe it would be worth it. But I just feel like loan payments, I mean, I've seen people where they paid on them for 10 years and they look and it's barely been touched because it's kind of like a house payment.
Well, that's why they put in the place, though, that there is a safe bail for that. If you do make a minimum payment, or there's even a way to get on a no payment, zero payment plan. That's what I'm actually on because of our income, because we're low right now, and have been for years with the kids and everything. So I got on this a couple of years back. They reconsolidated my loans. They put them all together. They got me on this thing. And so basically, if in 20 years, if you are making whatever payments you're supposed to make, don't defer, do this. Don't defer, because deferring, you're not making any payments, and that keeps you from being part of this 20 years. In 20 years' time, if you have not paid off all your loans, the loans go away. They take them away, and you don't owe them anymore.
I have literally never heard of that.
Yeah.
I know people who are... I know people that are student careers, which means they will literally just keep, because as long as you're in school, you don't have to pay. So there are people, my uncle had 10 associate degrees.
Yeah, my uncle was like that too.
He had 10 associate degrees because he would just keep going.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, while that would be very interesting, I mean, eventually at some point you get sick, you get old, you get whatever, and you can't pay that. And the next thing you know, you have $200,000 in associate's degrees you got to pay off.
Yeah. But that's what happened. So for years, I was deferring because I was going back to school, deferring. And then I got this one lady who finally was like, honey, look, you can do this thing where you can do this. It's called a zero payment plan. And I'm like, but I'm not paying anything. She's like, no, because right now you don't qualify. We'll have to get every year, you have to send in your qualifying and everything. And then if you do end up having to pay the next year, then that gets put into it. But it starts the clock. And I was like, but I'm not making payments. She goes, but you are, according to what we're setting up. It's showing that you are, because it's a zero payment plan. I'm like, okay, whatever, lady. And that was the most wonderful thing I've ever had done. So that was done, I guess, I think that was, we were living in, it's probably been 5 or 6 years now, I think, that it's been done, maybe even longer than that. So that I've had that working. And so after 20 years, no matter what I've paid on it, as long as I did this thing, then I can get it all forgiven. And I had never heard this before. And I told the lady, I said, why did they not tell you about this? She goes, because they don't want you to know it.
What's the name of it? Somebody's asking what the name of it is.
Let me, hold on. Zero payment plan, 20-year forgiveness.
I've never heard of it.
Hold on. It's the income-driven repayment plan. Cap your monthly payments based on your income and family size. If your income is low enough, your payment could be as low as $0 per month. Depending on the IDR plan, the remaining balance of your loans may be forgiven after 20 or 25 years of repayment.
Gotcha.
So that's what it is. It's the income-driven repayment plan. I'd never heard of it ever. And then they told me about it, and I was like, so let me get this straight. I would have already been 15 years into this, basically, by the time this happened, by the time, if anybody had told me about this. And she's like, yes, ma'am, I'm very sorry. I'm sorry you were not informed.
But at the same time, I mean, when you start making money or you start getting above the income limit, then you will have a payment.
Right, then you would have a payment at that point. Yes, if you're above the income level and you can then pay something, yes, you would have a payment. But it's every single year they reevaluate. So,
right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So even if your income goes back down, then it goes back down. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's the cool thing about it. And I think that every student should know this. Like, literally, I don't think it's right that the loan companies are terrorists. I'm telling you. Like,
well, right. You still accrue interest. And that's a shitty thing about owning a house.
Yes.
Because you get a 30-year loan, but for the first 15 years, you pay the interest.
You're paying the interest.
And then the last 15 is where you actually pay down the actual house itself.
Yeah.
Which sucks. Exactly. You know, you put in.
That's why Dave Ramsey tells
you insane amount.
That's why Dave Ramsey tells you on all like if you're paying on your house every month, you know, send in an extra $100 on your mortgage that goes directly to principal, and it helps you pay your home down faster.
Right, know? Like that's if you can afford to do that. That's if you can afford to do that. I mean,
right, exactly, exactly.
It's frustrating when you pay, $15,000 on your house a year, and you see it drop by 5,000 if you're lucky.
Right, if you're lucky, yeah, for sure.
Very frustrating.
Yeah, that's like, it does. It sucks.
Yeah, is D&D is airplane mode, right? Or is that completely different? Do not disturb an airplane. Are they the same thing?
Yeah,
I don't know.
D&D is do not disturb.
I don't know. I don't ever do it, so I'm always scared I'm gonna screw something up, so I never do it. I'm always with him being out. I can't have my phone. I have to have my phone near me at all times because there could be an emergency at any given time.
Yeah.
There's that. I mean, I remember the one time where he had gotten his truck took a turn the wrong way, and I'm getting the call every trucker wife don't want to get. So
yeah. We almost didn't get Wyatt today yesterday because of the
Southeast.
No.
You talk to them for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'll be right back, guys.
Poor YouTube can't hear me. because I'm in the kitchen. Hey guys, am I on my iPhone? I'm on my iPhone. I don't know who's asking. Anyway, hello. I don't know where she went, but she's right back. Oh, let me turn the slide off. Crafton, if you're still in here, I finished the 4th book, all about the lies, but it's only halfway into all the lies. We still have to do another book. All right, guys, I'm back over here, so I'm sure you guys can hear me now. Sorry. Juju's still a crew entrance, yes. Wait a minute. Boy, this is really lagging. She's not off screen even here yet. There she is. Now she's on screen. The feeling my husband, litter, and truck caught on fire. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. Looking up what master's degree programs, but not programs, specialties on their master's degree programs. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
I'm sure it was Tasha. I'm very sorry to hear that. Did he get out okay, or?
Okay, that's for clinical level. Bachelor's isn't clinical. I know when it comes to clinical, you have to take stats. I don't know what any of that means.
Yes. Yeah. They're right.
I have no idea.
No, they're right. They're very right.
Yeah, I know nothing about nothing. I don't even pretend to know nothing about nothing. I have no idea about nothing. Ryan Lee TM on YouTube. If you guys could give me a follow over there, it'd be great. I am not okay, dude. My stomach is not all right. You type extremely loudly.
Sorry.
I've never heard somebody type.
I don't mean to be.
I've never heard somebody type as loud as you type.
I'm sorry.
Do we have anything else to talk about?
I think I'm gonna go. Like,
okay.
If I do the master's degree, I think I'm gonna go for. I was gonna say if I'm gonna do the master's degree, I think I'll do like criminal behavior or the psychology of crime.
Both of those sound good.
That's what I'm thinking. So.
I don't do well on a schedule. Yeah. Like I want to learn everything, but I don't want to be told when I have to do it. My husband swears I have ODD because and that's I can't.
Well, yeah, you might. I mean, that to me though, like online gives me that freedom because I don't have to do it every day. I can do it. You know, you have to do something by a certain time period of each week, but that's why a lot of the times I don't get like. I'm a good student, but I don't participate in the online discussion groups.
Oh yeah, you can take a class by not doing that.
Get a B in every class because I won't participate. No, I participate enough. I do just enough so that I know that it's enough to count, and I'll get a B instead of an A.
There's loan forgiveness when you work at nonprofits, but sometimes the loans aren't qualifying. That's good to know. She said there's loan forgiveness when you work at nonprofits, but sometimes the loans aren't qualifying.
Yeah. And it's also if you do, like sometimes if you do service to like teachers, they can get theirs taken out because they become teachers. And sometimes medical professionals can get some of them forgiven for the same reason, like they're giving back to their community, you know? Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
You're buffering on YouTube.
I'm buffering? Nobody said anything that I was buffering. That's weird.
On YouTube. Well, I'm refreshing. Let me see if it's me.
Yeah, nobody said anything so far, so. Am I buffering on YouTube? Can anybody see this? Or is Fancy's computer just being weird?
No, there, I saw you moving.
Oh, I'm
It's
moving
just
now.
buffering for me, probably.
I really do not understand why my stomach is hurting so badly today. That's why they're changing the policy pertaining to that kind of stuff.
Chat and everything.
Yeah, see, it's you, not me.
Pertaining to what?
I don't know. Just she just said that's why they've changed the policy pertaining to that type of stuff. Not sure.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
And they said that I'm not buffering for them. Blah.
Yeah.
I like your profile pic, Avel.
I don't know what's going on then. I'm really confused. I'm going to close out of there and come back in. Yeah, see, yeah, you can do the tests and the quizzes on the weekends. You can write your papers on the weekends. The class discussions, you have to have them in by the end of the week. And if I like the class discussion, I'll totally give my all and participate with my colleagues and stuff. But if it's just a bullshit question, I'm like, nope, not going to participate in that one. and I will not. I even if I will participate, I refuse to have to answer to specific people. How many specific people? If I don't have anything to say, I don't have anything to say. Like if I have, I'll answer your question, but don't force me to freaking critique someone else's or ask them a question based on what they said. If all of them didn't give answers that I don't need any further information from. Like
I did online. So. I did online, but I had to go in class for X amount of times a week. I had to go 2 days a week, and then the rest was online. That's why you're required to do loan counseling. It's the repay program, but they did just change the name of it. Am I still reading comments on TikTok? Yes, but there is no comments on TikTok, really. Somebody just said goodbye. Hold on. Heading to bed. And student loans are insane. I agree. I don't know.
Yeah, they are. I'm up to my ears in them. At this point, I just figure I might as well just finish doing what I want to do because it's already fucking crazy out there anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
If I make enough money to pay them, that'd be great. If I make enough money to start paying on my loans, that'd be wonderful. I'd love to do that. But like, I don't want to not pay them. I'm just don't make enough to pay them right now. And I'm glad that there's this program because it's great. And I think that all new students should know about it. And I think that it's part of what the government should be doing to educate our students instead of just giving the loan forgiveness stuff.
She said you have that they reevaluate it every year.
Loans forgiveness program that they want to do. What?
Oh, she was saying you have to recertify every year. She said you have to recertify every year to stay qualifying. I said you had touched on that already. Yep. You do. Yeah. And that's the thing. And but it's a great program. But I think it's what should be given to students in the very beginning to let them understand. Because I think doing the loan forgiveness, okay, great. I understand what they're trying to do. But if you don't fix the problem, then it doesn't matter that you did that because they're just going to go back to having more to be accruing. You know, if you're not taking care, if it only takes care of part of what you already have in loans because they gave you only a specific amount of forgiveness, you're still going to end up in the same position in a couple of years because the loans that they didn't pay off are still going to be collecting the interest. Right. Like you have to do something to stop the bleeding, you know? Right. They do teach this. That's why you have to do loan counseling before you can take out loans. And when you exit school, you have to do loan counseling.
Right.
We had to do something like that for our bankruptcy. Oh, good night.
But it's not very comprehensive.
Right.
Oh, they're getting rid of the loan forgiveness? Yeah. Right. See, yeah. You don't need it if you utilize the programs properly. You don't need loan forgiveness. Do I think that people should that the students that got themselves into trouble with it and everything? Yes. Do I think that they should they should have some sort of reprieve for sure. But we have to stop the problem, or it's just going to keep happening.
Well, the problem is that they put too much interest on it. They want us all. They shove college down our throats from the time we can walk, and then they capitalize interest on there that makes it impossible.
I don't think there should be any interest.
I don't think there should be.
Yeah, I don't think that they should have to be able to put interest on there at all. At all.
Yeah.
Like,
it's two totally different things.
I don't agree with that. I don't. I think that that's bullshit.
So two totally different things. Do not disturb. Still, do not disturb. Your phone still works. It's just basically silent airplane mode. Cut signal altogether. Okay, so if you have an iPhone and you put it on do not disturb, you can go to contacts and they can still get through. See, I thought do not disturb, you can't get phone calls either. That's the whole point of do not disturb, though. Do not disturb means do not call me.
They just don't sound. I don't know if they don't notify. They do notify, though, don't they?
Well, yeah, but the notifications are still where I'm at, though. I didn't want them. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure it out because I don't have anything else to record on. I mean, I have my iPad. That's going to be horrible quality. I mean, it's not an old iPad, but like it's not going to give it's not going to give a very good picture. So
do you have a laptop?
Yeah.
You have a laptop, right? Or a desktop?
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just buy a good camera?
I'm on it.
Good webcam.
There's
really good ones.
I'm on it.
Oh.
I have a webcam. That's what I'm using right now.
Well, I'm talking about that.
Well, that's what you're supposed to give me. That's why you're supposed to help me with StreamYard. Remember? With
the recording and stuff. Okay, yeah, the editing and stuff. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
The editing is really easy to do on the computer, by the way.
Yeah.
It's really easy to do on the computer.
I hope
That's where I do all of it. I don't do any of it on my phone. I don't do any of it on a pad or anything.
Well, that's when I went to school, like I said, I always wanted to go into video. And my sister-in-law said, well, I'll go with you if we do graphic design. I should have just went by myself and done the damn video like I wanted. And I would be able to know all this stuff. Instead, I did something that I only partially wanted to do that got me nowhere. And now I can't figure out any programs to save my life. Of course.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I went for video and she was like, well, I'll go with you if we do graphic design. And I was like, okay. Yeah, I should have just went with what I wanted to do, but I didn't. Yeah. And then I went back to go do it, and they told me how much I was going to pay a month in student loans, and I was like, I can't afford that. So then I went into, well, I want to do a CSI, and that was like way more than that, and I was like, okay, I definitely can't do that.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get that.
I just feel like they make it extremely unfeasible for people.
Yeah, they do. I think that there needs to be a whole freaking. I think there definitely needs to be a whole revamp of the whole system of that. I think that there should be no interest on student loans. I think that you're taking advantage of young people who are trying to start out in life. None of this makes sense to me. I do not think it's right at all. There's got to be a better program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just feel like if they shove education down our throats like the way they do from the time we're born, right. Make it easier for us to get said education.
Right. There are several programs now that they're totally free for in-state or something now.
Yeah, like I said, I had a free ride to do one, and I was all set to go, and then I got in my own head, and I had a job, and they told me that because it was an accelerated course, I was supposed to be doing 45 credit hours the first semester, and it would have each credit semester you're supposed to study X amount of hours. And by the time I did everything, I was like, I don't have time to sleep. By the time I have a job and studying and going into class and doing online classes and functioning as a human being, then I don't have any time left, and so I got in my own head and I ended up not going.
So I do 3 to 4 classes.
Yeah, this one was 6.
I do 3 because we're not allowed to do more than 3 so we do 3.
Yeah.
They limit us, and they really only want us to do 2. And I told them, no, I wanted 3.
Yeah, this first semester was supposed to be 6, and I was like, I'm not gonna have time to breathe.
Well, because ours is an accelerated program as well, so we do 4 quarters.
Yeah, that's how it was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah,
was
four
just,
quarters.
it was a lot of stuff.
And that's why I had to come out of pocket. That's why I did have to come out of pocket myself, um, because I have a very small amount of my Pell Grant left after when Obama cut them off. I was screwed because I was in the middle of my other degree and I couldn't finish because I'd already used up all my Pell Grant years because he didn't go retroactive and let anybody who was in like a degree program continue to finish. Like, I mean, give us like a time limit of 2 years or something, which would have been helpful, but he didn't. So I got screwed and I had to leave that program. And then when I went back to school, I wasn't just when Amanda came to stay with me, we were looking. She's like, "You should go to school." I'm like, no, I'm not doing that again. I've wasted money doing this, and I've not gotten anywhere, and I don't even have the Pell Grant anymore. She's like, "Well, you should look at it because they increased it. You might have some." So I did, and I know I had used 89%, and so when I started going through the degree programs looking for the forensic psychology degree, I had to find one that I could, afford with just that amount. But because it's a quarter, I have to pay a certain amount out of pocket because it doesn't cover it all the way because of how they bill it. So it was pissing me off like no tomorrow.
I've always wanted to do medical stuff personally. I don't know why. I'm obsessed with medical stuff.
That's Emily. Emily has been obsessed with it since she was a little girl.
Like I was going to go into pharmacy and like I feel like medical assistant or things like that. But then again, I'm like one of those people who's like super phobic of getting sick.
Yeah.
So that's why I always want to do at least like pharmacy because I've always found like medicine very interesting.
I almost did pharmacy. I got hired at Walgreens, and then they got a hiring freeze because of the C word, and so I didn't get to get picked. They couldn't let me stay. I'd done like 4 days of training, and then they were going to put me through school for it. I was really excited. I told Abigail she should do that, but Emily is a surge tech, and she loves it. Like that.
Well, the another reason why I ended up not going through the pharmacy thing is in Kentucky, you can get hired at a pharmacy with no experience. And basically the only difference of going to school is you get paid like $1 or $2 more an hour. And by the time you get paid that $2 an hour, but then you accrue all the school costs, is it worth it to go through 2 years of learning what you can learn on the job and pay back what you're getting? It ends up, why not just go there and just do it and do hands-on? But they said that going on and learning hands-on is harder for a lot of people because they don't know a lot of the stuff.
Well, okay, so 2 things. One, I forgot that that's exactly what Walgreens does, is they were going to put me through their own program, learning on the job. And then Emily, that's what she did. She went to school to try to do the surge tech program, and it was not good for her because they wanted her to take all the other classes, and it just was not good. And because Emily, she has dyslexia and she's got an IEP all her life, so there's lots of things that it was hard for her to do college, straight out of the gate. So when she got out of that, the Norton system here actually has the same thing where you can go through their program. And if you stay with them for 2 years, then you can transfer out and you can go anywhere after that. And you're certified to be a surge tech.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what she did.
Yeah. Like pharmacy, you can do a certificate or you can do a associates.
Pharmacy, yeah. Pharmacy, you can just do a hands-on and get a certificate. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I thought maybe that was it. Was not. Yeah. So I still wish I would have done it, but then then there's that pressure to actually hold the job, which we all know I'm abhorrent in.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, you have to kind of weigh the pros and cons, and in the end, the cons outweighed the pros a little bit. So I just kind of went,
For sure. I get that.
God. Yeah. I am not okay.
What's wrong? What is going on?
I don't know. Today has not been good. There's something wrong with me, and I can't figure it out.
You're scaring me.
I'm scaring myself.
Do you need to get off and go chat?
No, I'm all right. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I've been trying to figure out what's going on all day. So it'll clear up. It's all right. It'll clear
Are
up.
you sure?
No, I'm not sure, but I'm hoping. Nobody can ever be sure of anything.
Ryan, kick your little booty.
People being in school for eons is what I was referring to with pause. Yeah.
What'd you
Probably
say?
stomach aches from my stress. Well, first of all, one of the dumb things I'm doing right now is this is not helping my stomach, like in any way, shape, or form. This is every time I drink it, it hurts my stomach. So I'm gonna stop doing that. Every time, it's just Coke.
Oh.
And every time I drink it, it's tying my stomach up in freaking knots.
So you've been doing the liquid IV, yeah?
Well, I haven't done it in a while. I finally got some.
No, but you have. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, no, I've done it. Yeah.
Okay. Do you like them?
I love them. That's my favorite thing in the world. I love them.
The benefits of it, because I'm thinking of getting them.
Well, I mean, for me, first of all, they tell you you're only supposed to drink like one a day, but I usually double up because I'm dehydrated. But it's really weird because you can actually feel it when you're drinking it. I think that's one of the cool things about it is, first of all, you have to drink it ice cold, and I mean like ice cold. Otherwise, it's nasty. But you literally, it starts about here, and you feel it just kind of creep up. It's a pretty cool feeling. But yeah, it makes you feel like you drank about 4 bottles of water by drinking 1 cup. I get really cold though. Because I drink it so cold, I get really cold. But
well, I mean, that's one of the things though that I struggle with is the hydration.
Yeah, they work good. They work well. They do.
That's why I end up in the hospital, is because I dehydrate so fast when I start to throw up, you know. So when I have an episode, it's bad. Like I'm not even kidding you, Ryan. It was so bad that I could be sitting here talking to you like this, and the next thing I would just fall over and vomit and end up all over just everything. It was awful.
Yeah, I've not done the firecracker. I do the strawberry.
Yeah, I want to try the firecracker one. Which one do you try?
I do strawberry.
Strawberry? Is it just straight strawberry, or is it
just regular strawberry? Just strawberry.
I don't think I'd like that one. I want to try the
the bomb pop one. I thought about that. Yeah, it's a little bit harder to find. Do not tell me that I'm flushed. You are not helping my hypochondriaism right now. I'm already like feeling like very, very bizarre all day. And then you're like, you look a little flushed. Is that normal for you? Actually, it can be. Sometimes my face just turns red. So, I mean, that could be normal. I don't know. My stomach has been jacked all day. Just absolutely jacked. I think I OD'd on some meds earlier.
Really?
I don't know how many you're supposed to take a day. I didn't pay attention. I had some stomach meds. I think I doubled up on them. I'm not sure. I should have read the bottle.
Fine.
Whoops. I'll be all right.
That's not why I asked you to save this. You suck.
I'll be all right. If I did, I only took 2 extra.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Jesus.
I'll be all right.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
I'm probably killing myself, so I'll be all right.
Well, I'll meet you in heaven then, I guess.
Well, we ain't meeting nowhere because I'm going straight to Hades. I'm going straight to Hades.
Yeah, you're not that bad.
Yeah, see, I had to take. Yeah, I'm not able to get any of that. I had to go straight for FAFSA loans. I couldn't. I don't. I make too much for like Pell Grants, scholarships, etc.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
because of your husband. Huh?
Yeah.
I totally get that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this person is.
If I had to go that way, I wouldn't have done it, and that was how I did when I started when I was young. Yeah, the first one that I had was straight me paying for it, like, you know, all of that, and loans and things. My grandmother helped out a little bit. She bought my books, but yeah, in the beginning, we didn't have all these options back then that we have now for funding and shit.
I don't need to check my blood sugar. I'm fine. God, you guys are being weird. I'm okay. I promise.
DJA is not fun, and I actually have And now they're going to make fun of me again. But I have a rare form of DKA. And I just found out that my mother has it as well because she just was hospitalized for it, my biological mother, is where my sugar is not rising like up high, but my body is reacting like it is and it's crashing out somehow. It's like a rare form of DKA. And it's very strange. Like my actually I'm crashing, but my numbers are weird. It's very weird. I've never felt like that. That was the day I felt like I was dying. I literally felt like I was dying. When I went to the hospital the other day for that, I'm telling you, I was trying to tell my husband, I felt like it was inside my body and I could not communicate with him. And I would just keep falling out over and over and over again. And it was scary. I'd never reacted like that before, ever. And my husband said he'd never seen me like that ever. Like, it was very upsetting to him. So, and my daughter was very worried. I had never had it happen like that. Never, not one time. And it scared the ever-living crap out of me. But that's what they said it was. It was like this rare form of DKA. Leave it to me to be fucking rare. Oh, good. I can finally see you guys back over here on YouTube. Where did she
Ryan
go?
couldn't check her blood sugar if she wanted to because Ryan lost her blood sugar meter.
Let me look at you closer.
I couldn't find it. I went in because I was going to prove a point, and I can't find it.
You have a flush in your cheeks, but it doesn't look unnatural.
Right.
Yeah, no.
No, I went to look. I don't know where the hell my blood sugar meter went. It was normally in my top drawer, and it's not in there. So now I don't even have a blood sugar meter. So that's awesome. Not that I ever check it. I don't check it. I just wing it. I don't want to know what my blood sugar is. Every time I check it, it's in the 300s. I don't want to check it. No, thank you. I don't need to know that.
Are you really that high all the time?
I used to be, yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I hang out at like 150.
That's like barely diabetic, dude. That's like 150 would be a pipe dream.
I used to be way, way high. But my A1C this last time, because I let it get out of all whack and I wasn't testing my blood sugar at all and I knew, and like you said, I know that my blood sugar was out of whack because I can taste it. You know, you can taste the sweetness in your mouth when you know your blood sugar's really bad off. At least I can. My mother said she could too when she was, my adoptive mom was diabetic as well. She was juvenile diabetic. So, but yeah, I can tell when my sugar's up. My last A1C was really high though. It was well over 7 something. And
girl, I pray for 7.
My husband's.
It's high. It's way over 7. I pray for 7s.
My husband is at like 13 or something like that. I can't remember. It was an obscene number. And I was like, what is wrong with you? How are you that high? You're taking insulin. I can't understand this. So that's why we're doing the Ozempic, because of both. So, and now with this rare form of DKA, she just wants to make sure I really am regulated better. So,
I hit 7s. I'm dancing, dude. I hit 6.9. I literally cried at my doctor appointment. I was like, I haven't seen 6.9 in 20 years.
When I got diagnosed, I had to get it down to 7.1 so I could have my shoulder surgery. And that took me almost a year. It was really high at that point. But I had worked and worked and worked and worked. I had to get it down because if you're not under 7.1, your body will not heal properly after the surgery.
Oh. This is so frustrating. God, I wish it would go away. It started in the afternoon. It started in the afternoon, and it's just got like progressively worse all night, and it's so frustrating.
Have you been drinking water?
No. No, I thought it'd be better if I drank. I don't know. I thought it'd be better if I drank Coke. I don't know. I'm an idiot, but yeah, I'm just, I'm feeling like shit. It's all right.
Yeah.
I'll be all right.
Yeah. So the rare form of it is called eugoglycemic DKA. which occurs when a person experiences ketoacidosis despite having relatively normal blood sugar levels. This can happen due to factors like certain medications or pregnancy and is considered uncommon in most diabetic patients. So both my mother and I were on Jardiance, and I guess we both have the same rare reaction to Jardiance, because since I've gotten off of Jardiance, it hasn't happened again. They had to switch my medication. So, anyway. I'm getting tired. I wish she would come back. I was going to tell her I was going to go. I hadn't either, Abel. I hadn't either. And then, like I said, and I thought it was just me. And then I called my mom the other day, and she had called like 3 times, and she doesn't normally do that. Like, my mom doesn't do that. And so I called her up, and I called her back, and she told me all about the same thing. And I was like, oh my God. And yeah, we found out that it was the medication. And a weird reaction to something or other. I can't remember. Jardiance, I think that was Jardiance that was the one, but that's something. I think that we stopped that when I started having all of the like really bad stomach problems. But no, it happened at that time. Yeah, that's what it did. That's why I stopped my Jardiance. So I couldn't remember. We had just recently changed all kinds of different medications. So anyway, night, sweetheart. Yeah, I don't want her to go to bed. I don't want to go to bed until I make sure she's okay. I'm tired. Very tired. Is 2 here?
Yes, it's 2 here.
Did you find your stuff?
No, I can't find it. All right.
Oh, where did you go? Oh, guys, thank you for the love. They've all been giving me hearts and stuff. I didn't even notice. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Bye, Alicia. Have a good night. See, I was just talking about the rare form of DKA while you were gone. I don't know if you heard anything of what I said.
I heard a little bit of it.
Yeah. It's crazy. But for my mom to have it too was just like so weird, because I've never had that with anyone other than my children,
Maybe I should get off here.
You gonna get off? I'm gonna get off. Yeah. I think I'm really worried about you.
I'm all right. I'll be all right.
Are you sure?
No.
What are you experiencing?
It's just I'm having a lot of stomach pain.
Ryan.
So it'll go away. I'll be all right.
Yeah, I think it's like a allergic reaction to the same thing, Aviel. So yeah, that could be very much inherited. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna slip over to YouTube for a little bit, guys. So if you want to join me over on YouTube, so I can stop leaning over and smoking, that'd be great. So I'm on Ryan Lee TM on YouTube. If you want to come over, I appreciate it. And if not, then I'll see you later, TikTok.
Bye, guys. Bye. I'll be over there watching.
It's so tired of having to lean over. It's all right. I'm not feeling like, I'm not like, I don't know. It's just, I don't feel right. I'm like, I'm all right. You guys can see me. I'm good. It's just, I haven't felt right all day. That's all. Be all right. Sissy's down here just snoring away. Might keep the car tomorrow in case, I need to, go to the emergency room, something crazy like that. No. I got to get him up in 3 hours. So. But yeah, I don't know. My stomach's just been messed up today. I'll be all right. I'll feel better soon. All right. My phone's finally charged. Yay. Do I have any ginger? No, I do not. That's why I wanted the Sprite, but he's so used to getting me Coke, he got me Coke instead. I was trying to have a Sprite instead, and he got me Coke, and I haven't drank very much of it really. Um, but like it's making my stomach hurt worse, so like I'm gonna stop drinking it. Yeah, I need it. I have water. Keep the card just in case. I don't do tea. Tea is disgusting. She's just a snoring away down there. I'm okay, Roberta. How are you? I have a couple ideas of what could be going on. So that's why I'm not super worried. I have a feeling I know. I think it's just an adverse reaction to one of my meds. Does my breath smell sweet? No. It's not my sugar. I think it's an adverse reaction to one of my meds. I was waiting for this particular side effect. So I think that's why I'm not super concerned. I think that's why I'm not super concerned. Because I have a feeling it's just a reaction to one of my meds. Yeah, no. So I still haven't heard word on the home insurance stuff yet. It's supposed to happen sometime this week. They're supposed to let me know what's going on with that sometime this week. But I did find out a couple other good things today. I got some things off my mind today, calling around different places. So that was good. But the home insurance thing I'm still waiting on for it's gonna happen at some point this week. So hoping that everything turns out good there. So we'll see. You like the lemon lime liquid IV packs? Yeah. I do the strawberry. That's really the only ones I've really ever had for the most part. So I am not a tea fan. I can't do tea. Tea is so hard. And if I do go near tea, usually it's got to be colder tea. My husband loves tea. I can't do it. It's weird. It's like grotesquely flavored water. Like I'd rather just drink water, to be honest. I'd rather just drink water. Me too, Roberta. Me too. I have a feeling I'll be better tomorrow. We'll see. It's the 18th. Woo woo. It's officially, well, it's been the 18th for 2 hours, but yeah. Yeah, that's the bad problem. It's like, oh, I'm gonna drink tea. I'm gonna be all healthy, and then I'm gonna add 10 pounds of sugar to it. That's my husband. I'm trying to get him off of pop, so now he's starting to drink tea, except he puts sugar in it. And I'm like, okay, how is this any better other than the fact you don't have the carbonation? I like soda for the fizzies. I don't like it for the flavor. I like it for the fizzies. And this still has fizzies in it, but the fizzies are actually hurting my stomach. Yeah. No, I think it's just a side effect from my medication. It's one of those things that like you need to watch out for, and I've not had yet, so I'm figuring that's what it is. But hopefully by tomorrow it'll sort itself out. It started earlier today, and then it kind of went away, and then it came back, and it went away, and now it just came back really bad. Like 11 o'clock, about 11 o'clock, it started really bothering me, and then I decided to go live, and here I am. Unfortunately, you guys are kind of in it with me right now. Honey spice herbal tea mixed with black tea and honey. My husband made some apple tea the other day, and I just I couldn't get into it. He had me taste it, but I was just like, the only teas that I can really handle, even drinking a little bit of, is like a peach tea. I can do a peach tea on occasion. And then there was this one, I don't know what it was, at Cracker Barrel. It was like wild berry or something. I could drink a little bit of that, but I'm just not a tea fan. I'd rather just drink plain water if it boils down to it. Winter storm warning, which is weird because it doesn't even say we're going to get any snow. And by the way, I'm smelling the fucking antifreeze again. So that's beautiful. It's saying 3 to 5 inches. Where? It's literally saying that we're not even supposed to get snow, dude. Where? 1%, 1%, 3%, 1%, 0.00000. Where? How are we supposed to get 3 to 5 inches when it's literally 1%? The highest it went up, it goes up to 3% one time. We literally, it's the 18th. Okay, yeah. I'm literally looking at the entire day of where we're supposed to be getting 3 to 5 inches, and there's literally no chance of snow. This makes 0 sense. Yeah, I can smell the fucking maple syrup again. The fuck. It was gone and now it's back. That irritates me. I can't find my blood sugar thing. I haven't used it in like a year, not even kidding. And it's gone. I can't find it. And where I normally keep it, it is not there. I was gonna placate. Somebody was like, "Well, have her check her sugar," and I was like, "All right, I'll check my sugar. Just I'll check it, whatever." And it's gone. No idea. It has been in the same drawer the entire time I have lived here, and it is gone, and I don't know where it went. So not really sure what I'm supposed to do with that. I can't find the only thing I found was the needles that you put inside the pricker. I can't find my strips. I can't find my machine. All I can find is the leftover box of some of the prickers. That's all I can find. The rest of it's gone. Yours caps out on the high meeting. Yeah. I think the highest mine's ever been that I've seen with my eyes is about 320, 330, something like that. It was running 300 pretty straight for a little while, but that's the highest mine's ever been that I've taken it. I just like to be there a lot. If I run, 170, 180, I'm happy. Like that's pretty good. I'm cool with that. I'm all right with that. How do I lose it? I fucking fairies took it. I have no idea. It has been in the same drawer for 5 years. It's been in the same drawer for 5 years. I just went through that drawer twice. It's not in there. It's not. That is my drawer. I have my drawer, my husband's drawer, and a random drawer. And I even opened up my husband's and my random drawer. It is not in there. The only thing I can think of is it somehow fell out of the drawer and behind it into the vanity is the only thing I can think of because it is not in there. I looked in there twice. It is not in there. And my little pricker things were down in the bottom one. So I was like, all right. So I was looking in there. Nope. I have no idea where my meter is. Good thing I don't need it for nothing. Well, if I used it like I should, I probably wouldn't have lost it. That is wild that I can't find it though. And now I want to use it because I can't find it. I'm not going to go buy another one. If it's gone, it's gone. I ain't buying another one. Yeah. No, I think I'll be all right. It's starting to wear off a little bit. I'm in my wane phase. I keep waxing and waning with this, and I'm in my waning. I'm feeling a little bit better now. So that's good. I'm starting to feel at least a little bit okay. So yeah, no. Mine's never been that high. It's been, not good, but it's never been stupid high. And there's no reason for it to be stupid high today. Literally, I didn't eat anything until 7 o'clock tonight. I had half a bowl of chop suey, about 25 French fries, and half of a Coke. There would be no reason for my sugar to be stupid right now. Oh, I did have 2 Oreos at some point. I don't remember when, but I remember eating 2 Oreos. I think it was like, I don't know, probably about 24 hours ago, to be honest. But that's all I had. I mean, I haven't even had a normal amount of food today. So I know it's not my sugar being wonky or anything. I've never had my sugar be, stupid crazy before. I remember, and I could tell when it was in the 300s. I can't remember what it was, but I knew that I needed to check my blood sugar. And when I did, it was high. I don't remember why, or I don't remember what I felt. I know when my blood sugar is low. I know when my blood sugar is low. That is one thing I can tell you so quickly. But the funny thing is, when you get to be diabetic, when your blood sugar goes low, it's not even technically low. Like for me, if my blood sugar dips to normal, because mine sits so high all the time, my normal makes my body feel low. So like if my blood sugar dips to like say 120, for instance, possibly, I could feel like it's low, like it was 60 or 70. That's how it was when it was running high all the time. If it got to be in the normal levels, I would feel like I had hypoglycemia. But I mean, I can tell you exactly. I mean, I know exactly when my blood sugar's low. But like, I remember the couple times where I felt it was high, and it was. So yeah, it's not sugar related. Yes, start shaking and have cold sweats. Yup. And anxious. You get super anxious. You start shaking. You get the cold sweats. Hypoglycemia sucks, dude. Sucks. Anxiety through the fucking roof. Feelings of dread. Ugh, it's awful. This weird hunger feeling, like that achy, stupid hunger feeling you haven't eaten in 12 days. It's a whole freaking nightmare, man. I used to wake up when I was on metformin. I would wake up like clockwork at 3 o'clock in the morning having a hypoglycemic attack. It got to the point I hated to sleep. I have so much sleep trauma, it is unreal. Between waking up to catastrophes to waking up to hypoglycemic attacks, like I have so much fucking sleep trauma. It is like I don't even want to sleep, like for real, because something's gonna happen if I go to sleep. Something's gonna happen. And I used to wake up all the time at 3 in the morning and have these fucking hypoglycemic attacks. I would wake up out of a dead sleep and just be shaking and sweating and anxiety, and it was awful. And then like I used to get these panic attacks when I slept that would make me feel like I was having a stroke. Like I would wake up and I couldn't remember how to talk because I think part of it was I was just so out of it. But like I would literally just start saying random words to make sure that like I still had my sense of speech. I haven't had these in a long time, thank God. But I've had them a couple times since I've lived here. Probably there's still one that still scares me to this day. I woke up and I mean I was not okay. And I remember pacing the floor trying to talk to my husband who was not home at the time. And I remember just feeling like I was just going to pass out. It was the worst thing ever. I kept feeling like I was falling backwards. My anxiety was, I mean, like it was the worst panic attack ever. Just woke up out of a dead ass sleep. Couldn't remember anything. Couldn't remember how to talk. Couldn't figure out nothing. It was, oh my God, so bad. But I haven't had those in like a million years, thank God, because those are the worst. I hate waking up and it's just the sense of just being disoriented is wild. And haven't had those. I can't even think, probably a year or two, maybe, probably. I don't wish those on nobody. Those are very disorienting. And it goes away, once I wake up and I realize I can't talk or whatever, it goes away in like 30 seconds to a minute. So, I mean, it goes away fairly quickly, but those 30 seconds feel like days when you're in it. but then it starts to go away and then you can, and then you start feeling better. But those were awful when that used to happen. I never see spots. I don't see spots. I just have, like, right now, I just have a little of a buzzy feeling in my arms. Kind of makes me like that. That's why I was like, well, you know what? I will take my sugar just to see, because it does feel a little strange, but like I don't think so. Like something don't feel all the way there, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just frustrated now because now I don't have a blood meter if I did want it. It was there and now it's gone and I don't know where it went. Your eyes get really sensitive. Gotcha. I can't remember what made me like, because it was probably, I don't know, 3 years ago. I don't know, it was years ago that this happened, and I don't remember why, but for some reason I knew to take my blood sugar and it was high, and I can't really think of why I knew to take it, but I did in that moment, and I was right. I just know I don't even bother testing when I feel hypoglycemic attacks. I don't even test. I know what those are. And I can get it, I usually get it to come up in a few minutes because I know what to do and I fix it and it's fine. But I haven't had, I know my sugar's been being wonky because I had it down really good. I had it to 6.9 and it was doing really good. And then I started drinking a bunch of pop. And I know that my A1C is probably 7 something, 8 something now. But I'm working on getting it down. I barely drank any pop for the past like week and a half. And I think that's another reason why it's bothering me so much is because I've not had very much pop in a week and a half. And I think my stomach's just pissed off at me now. Yes, that's one thing that's been happening is I knew my sugar was starting to get bad about 2, 3 weeks ago because I started craving water instead of pop. Like if I was given the choice between pop and water, I would want water. I would crave water, and I know that's when my sugar's too high is when I'm craving water. And then it doesn't even matter how much you drink because like it got to the point where I was like peeing every 3 hours, like regardless. It wouldn't matter, like clockwork. Like I could set a timer on it, and that's another time that your sugar's off is when you have to pee constantly. And I mean, I could set a timer every 3 hours. Boom, 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 boom. Like I knew what time it was every single time. And that started happening. And I wanted to drink water all the time. And I'm like, okay, I need to do something because my sugar is not okay right now. And that's when I started cutting back on the pop. And I've had pop, I think, like 3 times in the past week. And see, I had some pop I drank some Pepsi earlier in a bottle. I drank a little bit of it last night and then I drank the rest of it today. And then I had that. So I've had more pop today than I've had in 2 weeks combined. And I think that's another reason why my stomach's not exactly happy with me right now. Yeah. That's one of the most telltale ways to find out that your sugar's high is like you just element like you have to pee all the time, which is weird. Well, then again, because you're kind of drinking more water because you get super thirsty, so you drink more water, you got to pee more, blah blah blah. But it's even weirder when you don't drink more and you still have. And it's like, where is it coming from? Like, where is it coming from? Because I'm not drinking more, so just wild. Bodies and health are wild. I should technically keep the car tomorrow because technically do have some places I could go. And I probably will keep the car tomorrow because of that, but we'll see. I kind of don't want to because if it's going to be kind of shitty out, I kind of don't want the car. But like I also kind of need to go a couple places. So I don't really know what I'm supposed to do because I don't like driving when it's stupid out in Kentucky because people know how to drive. So I don't know if I should keep the car and get the couple things I need done or if I should just be like, no, I'm not going to do it. I have to keep the car Wednesday. So I think that's what I'll do is I think I'll just keep the car Wednesday and do what I need to do on Wednesday. And then you can take the car tomorrow. Because Wednesday I have a chiropractor appointment and then I can go get all my stuff done that I need to do. Is this going up at all? Yeah, it's went up 10%. Joy. I could get up and change the entire battery and stop it, but no, I'm just gonna leave it plugged into my thing where it's charging super slow. It says we're supposed to get 3 to 5 inches. It literally says it's not gonna snow. So explain to me what the fuck is going on. Dumbest shit ever. It's been saying it for like hours now that we're supposed to be from 7 p.m. Tuesday to 12 p.m. Thursday. Okay, so I need to look Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, right? So Tuesday, 2% chance of snow. Thursday, 13% chance of snow. Wednesday, 82% of snow. And you go, oh, ding, ding, ding. It's got to be a Wednesday, right? So you click on Wednesday and it says snowfall 1 inch. Where's the other 2 to 4 inches? If the highest day of snow is saying 1 inch, so Thursday is not saying any accumulation. Wednesday it's saying 1 inch, and Tuesday it's saying no accumulation. So over this winter storm warning that we're supposed to have 3 to 5 inches, it literally says in the forecast we're supposed to have up to 1 inch. Make it make sense, because it doesn't. It makes literally no sense. But Wednesday's the day I got to keep the car, of course. But I got to go because I need to go to the chiropractor. So I'm going to have to keep the car regardless. Because I'm all messed up. I was really messed up about 3 days ago. I actually feel halfway decent now compared to what I did 3 days ago. But yeah, exactly. They don't know what the hell's going on. They have no idea. I almost drank the reach for the pop. No, you don't want to drink that. I do. I need to drink more water for sure. Did everybody else go to sleep? There's 31 people in here and one person talking. Well, two. There's two people talking and 31 people in here. So is everybody asleep? How many of you are recording? Like, what is going on? I want to talk about stuff, but I can't think of nothing to talk about. And you guys are all just lurking weirdly. Right, they're probably screen recording. Why not? Whatever. I'm used to it at this point. I ain't that interesting, I can tell you that. There's really no point in screen recording me. I'm not very interesting. I said what I had to say about other creators at the beginning of this, so by then you might as well just be like, okay, she's boring and leave. I stand by what I said earlier. I think the way people treat people is awful. You don't think it's okay the way people are treating people? If you don't like somebody, don't watch them. You don't like somebody, don't interact with their content. It's not hard. It's what I do. Just ignore people's content. I don't like them. I don't like the people. I don't like the content. I just don't watch it. It's a novel concept, I know. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I just scroll and scroll and scroll. Like, I see people all the time. Like, I see a lot of people are block happy. I don't block a lot of people. I'll block people if they're being just absolutely disrespectful. But a lot of times I won't block people. And so people I don't like come on my FYP and stuff all the time. I just scroll. Who was screen recording? I don't know. Somebody in here probably, no doubt. I don't know what the point would be. Or not being very interesting for them, sure. I'm sure those people recording during fancy talking. People are ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Most people, you can't change their opinion as far as that goes. They're set. They're set. That is what they're going to believe. That is what they're going to think. That's what they're going to feel. And nothing you say is going to change that anyway. So, like, it's kind of like beating a dead horse. Like, I could sit here all day and give you reasons A, B, C, D, and E not to feel that way. But you're so dead set in feeling that way or wanting to feel that way that you're not going to listen anyways. Right, Heather? I don't understand obsessive behavior like that. I don't know. Call me weird. I don't understand the point. Like, I got enough real world life stuff going on, man. I am like not. I got enough real world stuff going on that I don't sit here and, freak out and watch and obsess over people on the internet. I got enough real stuff going on. They do, Heather. I agree. I agree. I know one thing. When I get off of here, I'm actually going to shut my computer down and let it like rest for overnight because I've just been letting it on, staying on, staying on. And I don't know if that's what I'm smelling, but I am going to let my computer rest because, like I said, it's also acting a little glitchy, buggy. It's gotten a little bit better. Yeah, I'm not as glitchy as I was earlier, but I'm going to just shut it down and let it like chill for a little bit. Well, they do. I mean, they always have another victim in mind. What? Shit, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I mean, they're always gonna have an opinion, regardless. I don't think they're gonna go away. That's not what they do. They obsess, and they're going to be obsessive and stay obsessive. So, yep, you can't change opinions. There's no point in trying. Pepper. So they're eating her foot or something. No, I learned a long time ago when the stuff first started happening with my kid that no matter how much video evidence I showed, how many people backed me in my corner, there was people that was never going to believe me. And I learned then that there's just some things you're never going to be able to change people's minds. And then when it happened the second time, it was even more because I went into it knowing that. And it was even worse because there was so much pushback, especially when I put her in jail, that people lost their freaking collective minds. And it's like, instead of concentrating on the fact I put her in jail, why don't you concentrate on the fact of what she did to be put there? So I mean, but people will have their opinions, and nothing you can say or do is going to change them, especially if they don't like you. they're going to be dead set in that opinion. It doesn't matter what you do to prove them wrong. You could prove them wrong all day long. You could have the person come and be like, you know what, she's right. And they'll be like, no, she's not. What are you doing? I cannot handle the fact that that's all I can smell is it's all I can smell is fucking maple syrup. It's driving me crazy. I don't understand it. Like I said, when I went over by the fridge, it kind of smelled like it. But see, I can't ask my husband. My husband will say he don't smell it. Because like I said, I have like a super smeller nose. So I'm going to be smelling something he ain't going to be able to smell because he can't smell very good because he's been a smoker for fucking 30 years. So he don't smell shit ever. And he's always like, I don't smell it. You're crazy. Well, I do smell it. I smell it too much. I am crazy. That's not the point. But he ain't going to smell it. I smell it. And it's like coming and going. And it's friggin' weird. Exactly, Heather. I believe that completely. I think it just gets to the point of they hate a creator so much they are just willing to believe anything that's against that person. I believe that. No, there's nothing leaking. Mm-mm. No, and it's just I can smell it in waves. Like I smell it for a while and then it's gone, and then I smell it for a while and it's gone. I mean, I don't know, maybe my nose is being super sensitive. I don't know. It's very bizarre. Yeah, my fridge isn't leaking. Yeah, so when I ever had like the aura before the temporal lobe seizures, the smells that you smell, um, they're gross. They're really gross, is what they are. It's not maple syrup. It's really it's like burning rubber, cat pee, just stuff you don't want to normally smell. That tends to be one of the things that will kick off like an aura that way. I haven't had issues with that in a very long time, though. Like a very long time. They keep wanting me to get checked again, and I refuse. Because everything went so stupid in Michigan. I'm like, I'm not doing it again. I was like, I did it before. I'm not doing it again. Thanks. Well, yeah, most of it is about not liking somebody. I agree. I don't think it's my vape. I don't think it's my vape. It doesn't, it's like, it's weird. It's like, it waxes and wanes. I think I'd be more concerned if it was just here and not going away, but it's like waxing and waning, which is what makes it super weird. If I just smelled it consistently, I feel like that would be, well, then again, that would probably mean that there's a physical reason as opposed to me smelling it sometimes. I don't know. I got to get him up in 2.5 hours. Wait, no, is that right? 2.5 hours? Yeah, 2.5 hours. I feel bad for him. He got home really late and then he's got to get up and, I mean, he basically came home, ate something, and went straight to bed. He got home hella late and then he's got to get up and do it all again. He can't even start. I don't know why the hell he's getting up at that time because I don't even think he can start. Well, actually, if he got home at 9, he can start for 7. So, yeah, okay, he's good. It'll take him six to get there. Yeah, he'll be all right. So, all right. Well, you guys have been lovely. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to go chill out and I will see you guys hopefully very soon. I meant to go live yesterday, but I ended up on Bree's panel instead. So, whoops. But hopefully, I'll see you guys around pretty soon. Thank you. Bye.